ESPN. Non-conference game for Clemson of the ACC against Texas A&M. The two conferences have combined to provide the last 4 college football national champions and 12 of the last 13. Fired up sellout crowd as usual here at Death Valley. We mentioned a moment ago Texas A&M's coaches and Kellen Mond himself believe he's much improved over a year ago, particularly as a thrower and decision maker. And as we welcome in Holly Rowe, Holly, the Clemson folks believe Trevor Lawrence is better than a year ago, and that's a scary thought.
Well, that's because he is. After he did such a great job last year winning the national championship, when he and Dabo Swinney met for his exit interview in the spring, he still set some goals for himself this season. One was to get stronger, and we really saw that in that first game where he had to track down a defender after an interception. He called it a dumb mistake, but what was really amazing is that the 6'6" quarterback was the fastest player on the field for Clemson in that game 1 as measured by their Catapult GPS system. That's something at 6'6". He also started using his legs more in the quarterback run game with some zone read touchdowns. Guys, he said that he's not going to go crazy back there, but at times he felt trapped last year behind the line of scrimmage, wanting to run more and showcase that athleticism. We're seeing a more confident, bigger, stronger Trevor Lawrence, and it's a good reminder he's pretty good with his legs. That could be terrifying for the competition.
Meanwhile, Kellen Mond, the junior from San Antonio, leads a very confident Aggie team here. As a matter of fact, their starting left guard, Jared Hawker, predicted an upset win earlier in the year. Some coaches might have bristled. Jimbo Fisher said, I like the fact that they expect to win.
Yeah, I'm not sure they needed to say that. It's good to believe that. But I'll say this, it's a lot easier to say that when you don't have to face 3 first-round draft picks like Clemson had on their defensive line a year ago.
Clemson won the toss and deferred, so Jimbo Fisher elected to take the football first, and B.T. Potter will kick off with a light breeze at his back. The crowd here would like more of a breeze to cool it off. 96 degrees at kickoff. The previous high at kickoff in this stadium was 95, which has happened twice in the past. So it's the warmest opening kickoff temperature ever here. And Clemson feels that's a big advantage with their depth. Potter has a strong leg, and he boots it out of the back of the end zone. So here comes Kellen Mond, junior from San Antonio, Texas. A couple of years of high school football there, and then he went to IMG Academy to finish up down in Florida. 275.5 total yards per game last season.
Jimbo Fisher is as good of a quarterback coach as you'll find in college football, and this is Kellen Mond's second full year in his system. That's why everybody expects to see a jump in his productivity and his efficiency.
They open from the 25-yard line. Jayshon Corbin is the running back as they operate out of the pistol. The play fake inside, and they throw to single coverage and a drop ball. Courtney Davis turned and was open. Darian Kendrick, a converted wide receiver, is the cornerback in coverage for the Tigers.
And that's who is going to get the most throws his way. Darian Kendrick, a very talented athlete, but A.J. Terrell on the other side is a proven commodity at corner. So expect number 1 to get a lot of throws his way.
Brent Venables, defensive coordinator for Clemson, said this is the best quarterback they'll face this year and likely the best receiving group with Davis, Jamon Osmond, and Kendrick Rogers, the headliners, out wide. They have 4 wide receivers on 2nd and 10. And a deep throw by Mond, and he's off target. That might have been a touchdown, but it was a stride too long for Cameron Buckley, who got behind Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah, and these are the kind of throws that you can't let get by. I mean, when you get coverage like this, that's a linebacker, Simmons, running on a wide receiver. You got a slot receiver on a linebacker. Could have been a big play, maybe a touchdown, and it was an overthrow, and now you've got 3rd and 10 on your first possession.
Well, that's where they're looking for improvement from Mond, just 56% career completion percentage. They expect much higher. He's revamped his mechanics, and Todd will talk more about that as we go. And a big opportunity for a big strike early. Movement along the line, and flags are thrown.
Clemson was showing pressure, and that little slot tight end got a little antsy.
False start. Offense, 85. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
James Carter, the referee. It was Jalen Weidermeyer, true freshman tight end. It's an SEC officiating crew on the field.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jimbo Fisher calls a run here. They backed themselves up. They had 2 incomplete passes. They anticipate a 4-quarter game. They might try to run the football here and punt it away. They got a great weapon in their punter.
3 wide receivers. Corbin, the running back, to the left of Mon. Dealing with the deafening noise in one of the loudest venues in college football. Design quarterback run. And he got belted after a 4-yard gain by Kayvon Wallace, the senior safety, making his 23rd career start.
Well, good start for the Clemson defense. Again, so much being made of the fact 6 of their starting 7 of their front 7 all gone, most of them to the NFL. A lot of new faces in starting roles, but guys who played significant snaps a year ago.
Well, here's Braden Mann to punt. Had the greatest season in the history of college football last year when he averaged 51 yards per punt. Was the Ray Guy Award winner, unanimous All-American, and that's a good kick. Long and out of bounds to prevent a return by Darian Kendrick. And Trevor Lawrence and Clemson will begin from the 27-yard line. True sophomore from Cartersville, Georgia. Jamel Holloway, the last freshman quarterback to lead his team to a national title back in '85 before Lawrence did it. And that win over Alabama when he was tremendous.
His ability to see and process things quickly at such a young age is what was remarkable about him last year.
Gave himself a middling grade in their opening win against Georgia Tech. It wasn't his best night for sure. He's pressured early. Gets it off in the flat for a short gain to J.C. Chalk, the new starting tight end, just his 6th career catch, the junior from Argyle, Texas.
Right away, you see Justin Matabike, their best defensive lineman, creating pressure. I mean, he's going to be a handful for this Clemson offensive line. It's a veteran group, but that guy's as good as anybody in the country, number 52.
They lost 3 defensive linemen, 3 starters off their A&M team of a year ago. 2 of them drafted in the NFL, but the coaches like this group. They're immediately pressuring Lawrence again, who dumped it off in a screen to Travis Etienne, who got taken down by Anthony Hines at the 32. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
In 2 plays in a row, you're getting pressure or a hit on the quarterback. And that's Mike Elko, the defensive coordinator, has got to be pleased with that. First 3rd down situation for his defense.
4 returning starters on the offensive line for Clemson. The only newcomer, the left tackle, Jackson Carman. On 3rd and 5. Pressure again. Lawrence on target. First down. Out across the 45 goes Justin Ross.
Well, they want to move Justin Ross around, and they're going to put him in the slot a lot. He's in the slot. There's nobody right here in this area. That's going to be too easy of a throw. They try to run a linebacker out underneath it. But that's not good enough for Justin Ross. He's too good a receiver. Better put a body over top of him.
Now Etienne, who was tremendous in that opening win against Georgia Tech. He gets dropped by Tyree Johnson here for a loss. He ran for a career-high 205 yards on just 12 carries. They rushed for 411 in their opening win.
Texas A&M's defense against the run last year, even though they lost some guys, 3rd best in the country. And they really did a great job against Clemson in that game in College Station.
They gave up only 95 yards per game on the ground. They think they can stop the run. Trevor Lawrence, beautiful on-target throw to the sideline to the big target. Justin Ross, 6'4" and 205, sophomore from Phoenix City, Alabama, good for 24.
Well, play action. Again, they're finding the hole in between the coverage. This time there is a corner up, but the safety is late getting over the top. Miles Jones is the corner underneath, but the play fake held the safety, and Lawrence was on target.
Back to the ground to Travis Etienne, and he gets buried after crossing the 30. Let's check in back in the studio. Here's Cassidy Hubbard.
Thanks, Sean. This studio update is brought to you by CarMax. Double overtime in the big house. Army down 3. Black Knights drop back to pass on 3rd and 11. Just the 6th time in the game they drop back, and Kelvin Hopkins gets hit. Fumbles. Michigan recovers, and they survive 24-21 in double OT. Sean?
I don't think that's a big surprise to anybody who's been paying attention to Army football the last few years. On 2nd and 8. Out wide. Ross again. And he gets corralled by Miles Jones. Loss on the play of a yard.
Justin Ross is one of those guys that Dabo Swinney said when he showed up, he was ready to play, ready to put it in play right away from high school. Never started a game last year, only played one play in the game against A&M last year. Still led the team in receiving when it was all said and done.
Yeah, he led them in receiving yards last year with an even 1,000 as a true freshman. Can they convert again on 3rd down and 9? This time for Trevor Lawrence. And a deep throw to the end zone, too deep. Looking again for Ross.
Good coverage.
With Miles Jones in coverage.
Good coverage by Jones. Now, the one thing with Texas A&M, their corners are big. Miles Jones is 6'4", so he's got the same body type as Justin Ross or T. Higgins, and he's in good coverage. Watch the coverage by number 10. He's got eyes on the quarterback, little hand on the receiver. He's got his eyes on the football. That's just great coverage. That's going to take a perfect throw to convert there, and a nice stop by the A&M defense.
B.T. Potter, new field goal kicker this year, taking over for the veteran Greg Hugel. 2 for 2 in his career, 1 for 1 in the opener with a 51-yarder. He's got a big leg, and that one is wide right. Plenty of leg from 47. And the Aggies take over. In a scoreless game, we've played just more than 4.5 minutes in sweltering Death Valley. Away over on ESPN, the women's final at the U.S. Open. Serena Williams against Bianca Andreescu as Serena goes for her historic 24th Grand Slam title that would tie Margaret Court for most in history. Serena won her first Grand Slam title before Andreescu was born. Bianca's 19, Serena's 37. No score here. Each team has had it once. Clemson missed a long field goal. Jay-Sean Corbin running room straight ahead, and an 8-yard gain on 1st down for the A&M Aggies.
They've got to run the football. Jimbo Fisher loves to run it. I mean, he's a balanced offense guy, very pro style. When they played Clemson last year, only 71 yards rushing on 32 carries, their lowest output of the year, 2.2 yards per carry.
9-4 last year for Fisher. They finished on an upbeat note, winners of 4 in a row. They hammered NC State in their bowl game, the Gator Bowl. 2nd and 2. Out of the pistol again, Corbin ahead for a 1st down. He was a backup, didn't get much run last year. They had Travion Williams, who rushed for over 1,800 yards to lead the SEC.
Now, when Travion was a workhorse, 271 carries. I mean, Jay-Sean only had 61. Kellen Mond was the 2nd leading rusher on the team, so he's moving from role player to primary guy right now.
Sophomore out of Rockledge, Florida, had 103 yards rushing in their opening win, 41-7 at home last week against Texas State.
They have their biggest receiver matched up on Kendrick at the bottom of the screen now.
They stick with the pistol and with Corbin running left.
This is going to be quite a chess match this whole night. I mean, Jimbo Fisher and Brent Venables, the defensive coordinator. This is actually the 11th time that they've met each other, 10th in a row. The first time they met, Jimbo was an assistant at LSU in the national championship game, LSU against Oklahoma. Brent was the defensive coordinator there. And now 10 straight years, they've been matching wits, and 2 of the best in the business.
Great defense as they won the national title last year, but they lost 6 of the starting front 7. 3 of the top 17 picks in the NFL draft earlier this year were Clemson defensive linemen. 2nd and 7. Unlike a lot of teams that go up tempo, the Aggies take their time. That's a high throw for Kendrick Rogers, and it's really complimentary football. Their defensive numbers were so much better a year ago at A&M, but a big reason why is they play far fewer snaps because the offense isn't in a big hurry as it was when Kevin Sumlin was the head coach.
Yeah, it's not a they do have tempo in their arsenal, but they are more of a pro-style approach. But right now, Kellen Mond, the disturbing thing right now for Jimbo Fisher, he's not accurate. He's missed a couple throws early in the ball game that he probably should make.
See the big improvement in time of possession last year with this pro-style attack. Only Army and Charlotte held the ball for longer per game than did the Aggies. Pressure up the middle. Isaiah Simmons started after him. Mond's throw is high. Off the hands of the freshman tight end, Jalen Weidermeyer.
Well, they came after him. They brought pressure. Simmons and Skalski both are rushing the quarterback. Mond does a good job hanging in there to the last minute. But again, an overthrow. That one I can understand. But a couple of the other misfires, he just hasn't been accurate here to start the ball game. But a chance now again for Braden Mann to flip the field and put his defense in a great position on their second possession.
Well, as big as his leg is, he might have to take a little one off this as he kicks from just shy of midfield. Darian Kendrick back standing at his own 10.
Kicked it different.
A high end over end and not his best effort.
Yeah, that's not his normal way of kicking. You're right. He tried to kick it differently, more of a rugby style kick. And it didn't do very well.
Just a 29-yard punt for Mann.
Hey, my name is George, and
some interesting comments from the confident Aggies in the week leading up to this game. We mentioned Jimbo Fisher said he kind of likes it, that this team is confident. And he said the last player on the team he ever would have expected to run his mouth like that was Jared Hawker.
Yeah, so one of those quiet, soft-spoken, humble guys, and very out of character for him, but a very confident Aggie football team for sure.
So no score, almost midway through the first quarter. Clemson on offense for the second time. Travis Etienne could not break free of the tackle from Jaden Peavy. And great to see Amari Rogers back on the field for Clemson. ACL surgery in the spring. They thought he'd be out a lot longer. Did not play in the opener, but back out there today after surgery in the spring on his right knee.
Yeah, March 25th was the injury. They were expecting the beginning of October to get him back, and ahead of all the schedules.
He practiced Thursday with a huge brace on that leg. Lawrence taken down. I don't know if he stepped on some feet back there or is actually taken to the ground, but he's down.
I think
Tyree Johnson nearest for A&M.
Yeah, Jackson Carman, the left tackle, is who knocked him down, but Tyree Johnson was the guy rushing. Jackson Carman's a big man, the left tackle, new starting left tackle. He stepped on the foot of Trevor Lawrence and brought him to the ground. Now 3rd and long, and 2 excellent plays on the first 2 plays of this series by the Aggie defense.
Loss of 6. Looked like Lawrence was grabbing down toward his left knee as he hit the grass. 3rd and 14. Lawrence high over the middle and incomplete. Dangerously off the hands of DeAndre Overton.
Well, he had a shot at it. He got both hands on it again. Overton, another one of, they have 5 receivers that are 6'4". Overton is the slot receiver taking the place of Hunter Renfro. And he has a chance at this one, just not able to haul it in.
So here's Will Spires, veteran punter, junior, but this is his 31st career start as the Clemson punter, the son of Bill Spires, longtime Major League Baseball player and baseball All-American, also 1 year as the starting punter here at Clemson back in his collegiate days. Nice kick and a fair catch made by Rashad Paul, who's looking into the bright sunshine here in the first quarter. Well, tonight a can't-miss game on ABC and the ESPN app. Number 6 LSU, number 9 Texas. It's Saturday night football presented by Wells Fargo. Both teams outstanding quarterback play in their openers. Joe Burrow threw 5 touchdown passes to tie the LSU record against Georgia Southern. He did it all in the first half. Yeah. And Sam Ehlinger threw for 4 scores in their easy win over Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, that's going to be another fun one tonight. Can't wait to watch. But Kellen Mond, for him right now, he's got to get a completion. Even if it's a little 2 or 3 yard throw, he's got to get something positive to happen for him in the throw game.
Perhaps a little too amped up on this big stage. Determined to prove he is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Hands to Jayshon Corbin, who gets banged out of bounds after a short game. Holly?
Well, Todd, you mentioned about the accuracy of Kellen Mond, and just something to consider. It is very hot down here, about 96 degrees, but it's even hotter on the field where that heat is radiating up from the surface. I see Kellen Mond with sweat on the top of his hands. He keeps wiping it off on that towel on the side of his pants. And we talked to the coaches. They said heat shouldn't be an issue. Texas A&M fall camp was about 100 degrees for 10 straight days. But just tell your body that you shouldn't be worried about the heat. He's continuing to sweat. We'll see if it affects him.
Everybody's going to sweat here today. The Aggies said they weren't worried about the heat. They had a prolonged stretch in preseason camp when it was over 100 for a couple of weeks. It's actually hotter in College Station right now, right around 100 than it is here. Mond throws on target. It was receiver Osmond could stay on his feet. He had more, but he got the first down with about a half-yard to spare.
I was just going to add on to what Holly was saying with the sweat in the hands. Is the one thing I noticed when we shook Kellen Mond's hand last night, he's got a big, strong hand, and that comes in handy on a day like this. But that's the kind of play he needed right there. Just a nice completion, move the sticks, now take a deep breath and settle into Jimbo's game plan.
Mond said at SEC Media Day when he was asked if he thought he was the best quarterback in the SEC, he said, "I think I am." Of course, Tua Tagovailoa, Jake Fromm, among others in that conference. But there are many who believe he has the skills to establish himself as one of the best in the country. Corbin, the head just shy of midfield.
That's a run that I'm surprised Kellen Mond didn't check out of. There was blitz pressure showing on that side, and he stayed with the play running right into that pressure, and that's why it was such a short game. I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with Corbin so far. You know, when we met him yesterday, I didn't think he was very big looking as a tailback. He didn't look as big as Travion Williams last year. I didn't know if he'd be able to run as strong as he is, but he's off to a pretty good start.
And they list him at 6 feet 210. I'm with you. I thought he was a little bit smaller than that, but he's a strong runner, highly recruited sophomore from Rockledge, Florida. He told us that's near Cape Canaveral. He's in the pistol. Mond, plenty of time on target there, and very close to another first down into Clemson territory. The 43, Jamon Osmond.
Well, you hit right on the head. Plenty of time. The protection so far for Kellen Mond has been excellent. Again, this is a different defensive front. They're starting a true freshman in Tyler Davis, number 13, Niles Pinckney, for the first time as a starter at defensive tackle. Third down and short. And they check that.
Late substitution by the Aggies. Jimbo Fisher does call the plays with the help from Darryl Dickey, the offensive coordinator in the booth.
I think Jimbo may have thought that was a first down on the completion.
Tegan Baldry, the fullback, in there to lead the way for Corbin, and he got blasted short of the first down. Big hit by Tanner Muse, the graduate student safety, making his 26th career start.
He's a big physical guy at safety, 6'2", 230 pounds. And he's going to come down here right here and put the big hit on Corbin. Corbin did a nice job of cutting inside to gain a yard, but not enough for the first down.
4th and 1. They were lined up as if to go for it. Now Jimbo Fisher's going to use the timeout.
Texas A&M.
This is
No score here in the first quarter as we continue Dr. Pepper's championship drive game of the week. 4th and 1, Texas A&M at the 43-yard line of Clemson and lined up to go for it.
Well, you've got a big quarterback who doesn't mind running the football, 220-pound Kellen Mond. That's who I think runs it here.
Tegan Baldry, the fullback, offset to the right. Corbin, the running back. Long count. Corbin bounced around. Goes forward for the first down inside the 41.
Really nice job by the left side of the offensive line, getting a push, and then Corbin just falling in behind him. Watch these guys right here. They get a nice push on this Clemson defensive front, and Corbin finds a little crease, and that's all he needed.
Well, it's a very good A&M offensive line. They bring 4 starters back, 4 players with starting experience. And the only newcomer, Kenyon Green, big number 55, the right guard, was one of the most highly recruited players in the country last year. True freshman 330-pounder out of Humble, Texas. Again, the Aggies in no hurry. Mon keeps. And he's chopped down at the 35 by Darian Kendrick.
Well, they read Isaiah Simmons on that time. They put him on an island. He's a great player. He's rangy. Number 11 for Clemson, but they just ran that option right at him. And Kellen Mond pressed him, and as soon as he stepped towards the back, Kellen Mond cut it inside for a nice gain.
Former safety, now really a hybrid. He plays all over the place. Tremendous athletic ability, including the 4.31 40 at 230 pounds. An emerging star in college football. Corden, nice cut to the inside, and he gets very close to another first down at the 32. Tackled by Chad Smith, a linebacker, graduate student from Sterling, Virginia.
Chad Smith, one of the new starting linebackers, made the tackle. Isaiah Simmons kind of overran the play. 2 plays in a row, they kind of went at one of the best players on this Clemson defense. They have 3 elite players. Simmons is one, the corner A.J. Terrell is the other, and the third one is Xavier Thomas, their best rusher, number 3. He's been pretty quiet so far in the ball game. Here he is right here.
3rd and 1, perhaps 4-down territory here for A&M. It'll be a long field goal into the breeze. Fullback Baldry in the game again. Corbin just enough for the first down with a yard to spare. And a nice drive here for Texas A&M.
And no big runs, Sean, but just effective runs. They've got the yards that they've needed, and that offensive line is getting a chance to come off the football and pound a little bit on this new defensive front. And the other thing it's doing, it's resting Mike Elko's defense. You know, this is a nice time-consuming drive right here for the Aggie offense.
Well, these two coaching staffs familiar with each other. You mentioned a moment ago Jimbo Fisher and Brent Venables matching wits. Back to the 2004 meeting between LSU and Oklahoma. Of course, they played each other for 8 years when Jimbo was at Florida State and Dabo and his staff were here. Long throw to the sideline and incomplete, intended for Jamon Osborne. Here's Cassidy Hubbard.
Thanks, Sean. Let's take a look at one of AT&T's best performances. Number 25, Nebraska, trying to avenge their loss to Colorado last season. Adrian Martinez to J.D. Spielman makes a nice cut inside to complete the 65-yard score. It's 7-0 Cornhuskers in the first. Sean, Todd, back to you guys.
As we saw on game day this morning, that is a spirited rivalry. Scott Frost didn't mince any words. They don't care much for Colorado, which beat the Huskers in Lincoln last year. Venables and Fisher, their chess game continues. They don't change much year to year, so they have a pretty reasonable idea of what to expect from each other. It's all about execution for the most part. And a timeout called by Jimbo Fisher with 46 seconds to go in a scoreless first quarter. The 11th play of the drive upcoming. This season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, Allstate will make a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund. Thank you, Allstate. Sean McDonough with Todd Blackledge and Holly Rowe back at Memorial Stadium, Clemson, South Carolina. Sweltering afternoon, and A&M doing exactly what it hoped to do coming in.
One thing we haven't seen from A&M yet is a screen. They're a big screen team. Jimbo Fisher has always been a screen guy, and 2nd and 10 is a good down for it.
They ran several against Clemson in the 2-point loss to the Tigers in College Station game 2 of last season. Mon just 2 out of 7 passing for 14 yards. Throws dropped. On target for Kendrick Rogers, who had the best game of his career against Clemson last year. 7 for 120, and 2 of those 7 catches went for touchdowns. All of those numbers career highs.
A couple really tough, hard-fought catches, too, where he really had to go up and battle for the football. 3rd down and 10. Right now, if you're Texas A&M, you better account for Xavier Thomas on the rush. He's not been a factor yet, but 3rd and 10 is his down. You better have a little extra attention on number 3 in the orange jersey.
Play clock at 2. Whistle stopped the play. I don't see any flags. James Carter perhaps will sort it out for us. Or not.
Snap infraction. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
You mentioned that A&M has an experienced line, but the guy they lost last year, Eric McCoy, was not only their best player at center, he was also their communicator, the heart and soul of their offense. On the road in a place like this, in critical situations, that's a huge loss for them.
McCoy, second-round pick of the New Orleans Saints. That might have taken them out of field goal range as well. Seth Small's career long is 52. That's just about what this would be. They bring pressure. Mon got it off quickly to Cameron Buckley. He escapes the tackle and has the first down. Big whiff on the far sideline. And it's a 20-yard gain for Cameron Buckley.
Yeah, this is Nolan Turner that's going to be in coverage, number 24. And all you're hoping for is to just see if he can make one guy miss. Nice stiff arm by Buckley. They missed Buckley on the big play in the first possession. That time they get him the football, and he makes a nice play one-on-one. This is the part of the field now where you think about Kendrick Rogers, their big wide receiver, something towards the end zone. Here he is right here, the biggest target they have.
They don't have to snap it again here in the first quarter. They do. And the throw incomplete off the hands of Glenn Beal, sophomore from New Orleans. Really a newcomer in their rotation. They lost Jay Sternberger to the NFL, their tight end from a year ago, and their leading receiver. No score, certainly going A&M's way. Our coverage will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. This season, Taco Bell celebrating student sections and passionate fans like these, awarding the Liv Moss Student Section of the Year. Clemson Tigers student sections already on the national watch list. Go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete. Terrific drive engineered by Kellen Mond. Scoreless first quarter. This will be the first play of the second quarter. And the Aggies on the move. 14th play of the possession. Second down and 10 at the Tigers' 15. Clemson rushes only 3 all day from on. Check down, incomplete off the hands of Kendrick Rogers. And even on a pass that short, kind of disturbingly off target if you're an Aggie fan.
Well, not only was it a poor throw, but he had a running lane to his left. Watch this play open up. The crossing route is going to come from this area, but watch this opening right in here. If he takes off, he's got one guy to make miss. He's an excellent runner. That's one he should have pulled down and run, and probably had a better chance to make the first down than on that throw. Just 3 of 11, and that's not the kind of start he wanted, even though the game's going the way A&M wants it to go.
They've run twice as many plays as Clemson, 22-11. This is the 23rd Aggie snap, and a run on 3rd and 10, and nothing doing for Jayshon Corbin. And here comes the field goal unit for Jimbo Fisher.
I think that's Jimbo saying, look, my quarterback's got to settle down. He's not throwing the ball really well right now. They ran the ball back to the middle to set up a field goal attempt from the middle of the field.
So here's Seth Small, returning field goal kicker from last year. This year, 2 for 2 in the opener, 2 chip shots against the Texas State Bobcats at 22 and 26. This is from 32 yards and right down the middle. And Texas A&M is on the board first in the opening minute of the second quarter. 16-play drive that took more than 7.5 minutes. 7:33. That's more than half a quarter. And it's time now for the Aflac trivia question. We want to know who was the first Clemson Tiger to be inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame.
Good one.
It's a good one. These perhaps are clues as we stand The names and numbers, some of the great players and coaches in Clemson history. So 3-0 Aggies. Try and end a whole bunch of Clemson streaks. Overall, as we mentioned, Clemson's won 16 in a row. They've won 16 straight here. Haven't lost here since that upset loss to Pittsburgh in November of 2016. They won 18 straight September games.
Clemson's missing a guy on their kickoff return team. Kind of rare to see. Dabo said one of the things he loved about last week is just how clean and everything was focused. They were ready to play.
Yeah, both coaches thought their teams were pretty crisp for an opening game last week. Braden Mann's kickoff returnable. Joseph Ngata, a highly touted freshman, stumbles down shy of the 20. Holly?
Well, guys, Aggies had a running back committed for about 8 to 9 months. It was a pretty high-profile kid, and it's Travis Etienne. He's now playing for Clemson. He was originally out of Louisiana, but he committed to the Aggies. He said he was really solid on them for quite a while until there was a coaching change. Some of the things were shaking up around that program, and he decided to decommit and open his recruitment late. He swooped in. Dabo Swinney got him at the very last minute, and here he is wearing the orange. He's one of the best running backs in the country. Could have been an Aggie if not for that shakeup of the coaching staff. But, guys, he's happy that he's here at Clemson. He believes he's right at home.
Yeah, he was surprised when he got the call from the Clemson coaches. Lawrence connects on a slant to T. Higgins, and a Clemson first down, or is it? Nope, they're going to mark it just short by about a yard. Charles Oliver, the tackle.
Well, what I am seeing from Mike Elko's defense right now is he's going to try to sneak an extra guy in the box as often as he can to stop Travis Etienne, and then hope he can take his chances on the outside against these tall receivers. He does not want Travis Etienne to beat him. He's going to force Trevor Lawrence to run a little bit. There's Mike Elko right there in the white hat. He's going to force Lawrence to run, and he's going to hope his corners can hold up against these wideouts.
Terrific defensive coordinator. Spent a long time with Dave Clawson, now the head coach at Wake Forest. But Brian Kelly from Notre Dame lured him away. He was there 1 year, and then Jimbo Fisher brought him over. Last year to A&M. Lawrence, deep throw, up for grabs, and incomplete. Well covered. You mentioned the size of Miles Jones, and there it is. Yeah. Mike Elko says Clemson wins a lot of jump balls, but we have big guys who can compete for those.
You got to be on the same plane as these wide receivers. You can't get beat off the line of scrimmage. First of all, you got to be even with them so you can go up and fight for the football. And you can't do it any better than Miles Jones. Actually, in that case, Justin Ross became a defender to knock the ball away.
Etienne, the running back, 4 wide receivers, 3 to the right of Lawrence. Etienne, blazing speed as he gets loose for the first time today. Down to the Aggies' 44-yard line.
Great call this time by Tony Elliott and Jeff Scott. We can't run Travis Etienne. Let's get him the ball in space. Get some linemen out in front. John Simpson, the left guard, with a huge block. And that guy can find openings. He doesn't take a big crease with his speed.
28-yard gain. Lawrence, a quick pop to his right to Justin Ross, who goes down forward for an extra yard.
Clemson speeding up their tempo a little bit here as well.
Mike Elko said the key, he believes, is to try to make it hard for Lawrence to figure out how many men are in the box for the A&M defense. He says if you make it simple, he's either going to know that he should run or pass. So we have to make it look like we have X number of people in the box and then try to change it and confuse him. Not confused here. Etienne outside. Stumbles out of bounds with a first down for Clemson. Inside the 30.
Well, here's exactly what you're talking about, Sean. On this play, they're going to bring this safety late into the box to add an extra defender. The problem is he misses the tackle. He's unblocked, but he misses the tackle. He takes the wrong angle to the football. They don't get him on the ground, so it doesn't pay off.
That's a great example of it, Todd. He wasn't in the box to start the play. Jaden Peavy lifts off for A&M. Back back at Clemson. Time to answer our Aflac trivia question. We wanted to know the first Clemson Tiger to be inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. Todd, this will be a test of our friendship. You will acknowledge that I did answer correctly during the commercial without looking at the card.
That's what you said. You said you did. I believe you.
John Heisman, head coach from 1900 to 1903. Faking by Lawrence. And a run straight ahead by ETN. One thing that I did not know, despite all the times that Clemson and Florida State played in meaningful games when Jimbo was in Tallahassee, Jimbo started as a college student here at Clemson. He spent one semester here, was going to be a baseball player, was on scholarship, but it was in that fall when he first got here, he realized that he missed football too much, wouldn't be able to play here, so he transferred to play for Terry Bowden at Salem College. The ETN dumped for a loss. They'll give him the 30-yard line before he was driven back by Buddy Johnson.
Buddy Johnson, the new starting middle linebacker, is going to fill the gap. Comes in there unblocked, takes a good path to the football, and then wraps up the tackle. And again, that is the focal point, I think, for this A&M defense. Stop Travis Etienne and take our chances with the passing game of Trevor Lawrence and these big receivers.
Jaden Peavy, Holly tells us, quick tape job on his left ankle. He's back on the field for the A&M defense. They lead 3-0. 3rd down and 11. Lawrence forced to scramble. Now throws, has 2 receivers open, and a Clemson touchdown. Justin Ross. 30-yard touchdown, and the Tigers lead for the first time today on their first score.
We talk about Kellen Mond's ability to extend plays with his legs. Holly talked about he wants to use his legs more this season. That's a perfect example. It was good coverage initially. The pocket broke down, and Trevor Lawrence extended the play and made something happen. And that's Peavy for the second time going down, and that could be critical for A&M. They don't have a lot of depth at that defensive tackle. He was one of the 3 guys that they were going to rotate in there pretty regularly.
And one of the players who put the pressure on Lawrence on that touchdown play. He's really their 3rd defensive tackle, but Mike Elko told us yesterday he's a guy who would start on a lot of other teams in the SEC. Junior from Bel Air, Texas. Excellent prospect coming out of Bel Air High School. He was a U.S. Army All-American.
When a quarterback scrambles, it's not just him making a play. The wide receivers have to make adjustments to their routes and move with the quarterback and get on different levels so he can see where there's an opening. And that coverage just didn't hold up because Trevor Lawrence extended that play from about 3.5 seconds to about 7 seconds.
B.T. Potter adds the extra point. 7-3 Clemson.
Check it out again now. Trevor Lawrence is 6'6". He can see over the defense. He likes to throw from the pocket. It was good initial pressure by Tyree Johnson, number 3. His eyes are downfield. He gets his shoulders square, and he actually had 2 receivers open in the end zone behind the coverage. Well, you got to get those shoulders square when you're rolling to your left, and he did a beautiful job of that to make an accurate throw.
Todd, you were a national championship winning quarterback, a 1st-round draft pick. Most people believe in a couple of years when Lawrence can be in the draft, he'll be the first player taken. What, if anything, is he missing?
I don't know what he's missing. He can make every throw. He's smart. He studies. He wants to be great. He's got good feet. He's got good athleticism. I think it's just more game reps. You know, that's the only thing that he's missing is more game reps.
Has all the physical skills, it would seem. He has the leadership qualities, and Dabo Swinney and Lawrence's teammates talked to us about how that has really emerged in the offseason. It was Kelly Bryant's team at the beginning of last year. He was the returning starting quarterback, but it's clearly Lawrence's team now. Potter's kickoff is a touchback. ACC football is here. Trevor Lawrence and Clemson helped Chris and the ACC network with their season opening win against Georgia Tech here. Get ACCN.com. Visit that site to check for providers in your area. If you don't see yours listed, contact them to demand that they carry ACC Network. Terrific team on our lead broadcast on ACC Network. With the football with Dave O'Brien and Tim Hasselbeck, Katie George.
A&M is in this football game, but Kellen Mond cannot continue to struggle throwing the football to have a chance.
Long, time-consuming drive. It resulted in a field goal the last time they were on the field.
The layup game. Offense.
And that can't happen. I mean, that's the first play of a possession, a change of possession. You just came off the sideline. Get the ball snapped and run your play. And right now, Kellen Mond is just, I don't think he's not where he needs to be in the football game. The defense has shown up, the running game has shown up, and he just is not quite in that place where he needs to be.
Well, obviously in the SEC, they play in a lot of enormous and loud stadiums. They were just 1-3 on the road last year. Their only victory was at South Carolina. They've lost at Alabama, at Mississippi State, and at Auburn. Mond checked it down to Kendrick Rogers. He tried to split two defenders, got upended by Darian Kendrick with help from Nolan Turner.
Very good decision that time by Kellen Mond. It was only a three-man rush. Clemson dropped 8. They're more of a pressure team, and Kellen Mond was patient, and he found an open outlet receiver in Rogers, and now they got a second and normal kind of situation here.
Lots of movement. Clemson showing a corner blitz. Corbin spun around and stacked up after a short gain to the 31. There's an injured Clemson defender with 3rd down and 4 upcoming. It's Xavier Thomas, the terrific sophomore defensive end.
When you finally stop work.
College football on ABC is brought to you by Pacific Life. 150 years strong. Protection and retirement solutions for your future. And Mazda. Feel alive.
Well, many Clemson fans regard it as the most exciting 25 seconds in college football. The running down the hill dates back to 1942 when the Clemson football team dressed at the field house across the street at that end of the stadium at which you're looking. There are only 20,000 seats here. So they ran across the street, down the hill, onto the field to start the game. Even though now there are locker rooms here in the stadium, they've continued that tradition. 3rd down and 4, A&M trailing 7-3.
Another three-man front look. Now, Clemson has pressured out of this. They got 3 safeties deep also.
Xavier Thomas off the field with an apparent ankle injury. Mond on target. And where will they mark the ball here? It's actually out, but ruled down. Kendrick Rogers.
I think his forward progress is going to give him a 1st down. I mean, he did lose ground, but I think his forward progress is going to give him a 1st down.
And that's where they are marking it, out at the 38-yard line, well past the line to gain. I thought after he bounced off the hit, he was still alive and circling back to try to gain more yardage. But
Mond did a good job staying in there under pressure.
I'd like to bring in Bill Lamagna about that play. I mean, for a second there, it looked like Rogers was completely free of the tackle and still on his feet. And the play continued. They gave him the forward progress. And the clock runs down to 9 minutes to go in the first half. Clemson blitzes, and Mond runs right by K'Von Wallace, the blitzer. The ball's out, and the Tigers have it at the 46-yard line.
Well, it was Nolan Turner, number 24, who's going to force the fumble. It's a good run, But Nolan Turner's going to come off the block and knock the football out, and then Skowski's going to be the guy who comes up with the football. Nolan Turner, who got beat on the third down play one-on-one, comes up with a huge play, forcing the fumble, and that time the ball is clearly out, and the Tigers are in business again.
6 straight games with a takeaway. That was a problem last year for A&M. They were -7 in turnover margin because their defense had just 11 takeaways all year. Excellent field position, the +46. Lynn J. Dixon, the speedy backup to Travis Etienne, chased out of bounds. Damani Richardson, true freshman starting safety, ran him out. By the way, it's a moot point now, but I do think Bill Lamagna, our rules expert, agree with me about the spot. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I do agree with you, Sean. He was free from that hit. He had the opportunity to lose yardage, gain yardage. So you can't give him the best of one world.
Lynn J. Dixon. I like that, Bill. That's the first down. Is that a new expression you've had the offseason?
Well,
Step up your game, which was already very strong.
I've always used it at the clinics and that if you're going to rule forward progress, it's just over. But if you're not going to rule it, he can gain, he can lose, he can fumble, he can score. So he's got to deal with both ends of it.
Best of one world.
Travis Etienne back in at running back. Lawrence faked it to him. Throws on the run and over the head of Justin Ross. Perhaps a throwaway. There were 2 defenders there for Texas A&M.
Had Amari Rogers on the backside. Even though he was rolling to the right, he had single coverage with Amari Rogers on the backside of that play. We haven't mentioned yet the other starting corner. We've talked about Miles Jones. Elijah Blades is the other starting cornerback, number 2. Junior college transfer, just got here in the summer. And they're very high on him, but this is his first big game for A&M as well.
Another inside fake. Lawrence pulls it down, showing that improved speed. And he got chopped down at the 25, very close to another first down, and it was by that man you just mentioned, Todd, Elijah Blades, the JC transfer from Arizona Western.
And this was not a design quarterback run. It was play action pass. He didn't like what he saw downfield, and he makes a quick decision to get north and south and get the first down.
Mike Elko described Elijah Blades as twitchy.
Yeah.
And I guess in athletics, that's a good thing.
It's a very good thing in athletics. What you don't want to be is called slow twitch. That's not good in athletics.
Etienne is twitchy and then some. He did well to stay on his feet for a while. Crowd appreciates the effort. He got a little bit bigger and stronger. He's up to 210 pounds this year at 5'10".
Well, they have done a good job of bottling him up as a runner. Only 18 yards on 8 carries.
Coordinated player.
His best play was the little swing pass that got him out in space.
Introducing the Impossible Whopper with a patty made from plants.
Well, a big problem for the Texas A&M defense. We mentioned earlier they think they have 3 outstanding defensive tackles who play in a rotation, and 2 of them are out of the game right now. Jaden Peavy twice appeared to injure his left ankle, and now Justin Matabike, who Dabo Swinney described to us as a monster of a man. He's in the medical tent right now on the A&M sideline.
And he's the most disruptive, and that means the biggest guy of all 3 of them, Bobby Brown, number 5 in there, is going to have to play more snaps than I'm sure Mike Elko had intended for him to play today.
You see Josh Rogers, sophomore from Houston, who played in 4 games last year and then redshirted, number 99 on the field for A&M. Clemson leading 7-3 on 2nd and 6. Etienne has the first down with the end of that play as he falls across the 15-yard line.
Just good hard-nosed run. Again, Etienne over the last couple of years has just added strength, particularly to his lower body. He runs through arm tackles. Just a much stronger runner than he's ever been. Good blocking at the point of attack. This is where they're so dangerous. You've got Etienne and you've got these tall receivers running towards the end zone.
MTN, the ACC Player of the Year a year ago. Amari Rogers escapes from one tackle, got a yard, and that's all. Miles Jones had trouble, and Leon O'Neal came over to help out.
Well, Amari Rogers is built more like a running back at 5'10", 215 pounds. And when he gets the ball in his hands, he runs like a running back. That's how he was able to just run out of that tackle of Miles Jones. Not built like the other wide receivers on this Clemson roster.
You heard the big roar from the crowd when the public address announcer mentioned Rogers' name coming back today from the ACL. Blitz! Lawrence gets away, throws it away. It was Elijah Blades coming on the corner blitz, and Lawrence did well to get rid of it. And there is another Aggie defender, and it's Blades, the blitzing cornerback, with a right arm or shoulder injury, it seems. And I think the officials might also be talking about a possible grounding.
Well, he got the ball back across the line of scrimmage.
Was he out of the tackle box?
Was he out of the tackle box?
Yeah, Elijah Blades, corner blitz in college football is effective when it comes from the short side of the field. And Trevor Lawrence didn't see it. At the last minute, he saw it.
Offense, number 16. He was not outside of the tackle box. Lost him down at the spot of the foul. Third down.
That's a very good call. The ball was on the left hash, and he threw it just barely off the left hash. So I think that's the right call. See, the ball snapped on the left hash. Here's the pressure. He knows he's got to get rid of it because Bobby Brown's coming. He's not outside the tackle box. That's a good call.
And now Brown, the third member of that rotation, is also gone off the field.
My goodness. Well, actually, I think that's Elijah Blades. Brown is still on the field, but Elijah Blades is off the field.
So it's a big penalty. Back to the 30-yard line. Third down and 26. They are in field goal range for B.T. Potter. Lynn J. Dixon comes in as the running back. Four receivers spread the field for Clemson. Let's see how they play it. Lawrence deep down the middle and caught. T. Higgins couldn't break the tackle. He's well short of the first down. Damani Rogers, the true freshman, Waxahachie, Texas, with the big tackle to force a field goal try.
That was a great tackle by the freshman Richardson, because T. Higgins is a big physical receiver, and if he doesn't wrap him up, Higgins is going to get the first down, maybe a touchdown. That was a touchdown-saving tackle to force this field goal attempt.
From B.T. Potter. Missed from 47 in the other direction in the first quarter, wide right. 30-yard attempt is good. Out of the hole to Dabo Sweeney's son, Will Sweeney, and a good snap by Patrick Phibbs.
Good job by Sweeney, getting it down, getting the laces turned. Well done.
Will Sweeney has a younger brother, Drew, who has joined the team as a wide receiver this year. They have 5 sets of brothers on this team, including the Herbstreets.
Yes, that's right.
Tonight, can't miss action. Speaking of Kirk Herbstreit, on ABC and the ESPN app. He's in Austin for number 6 LSU and number 9 Texas, 7:30 Eastern time. Presented by Wells Fargo. First meeting between these two teams since the 2003 Cotton Bowl, the first of the regular season since 1954, with each team a quarterback off to a terrific start this year.
Yeah, LSU, a little new look offense, courtesy of their new look and receivers and new quarterback. Their offensive coordinator came from the New Orleans Saints, so they're doing some different things offensively. Joe Brady. Yep.
Sam Ellinger, we were there when he said after they beat Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, we're back. We'll see just how back they are after they played the number 6 team in the country tonight. Potter's kickoff, a touchback. Here's Holly Rowe.
When defensive tackle or defensive end Xavier Thomas was taken off the field, initially he couldn't put any weight on that ankle, but as he got near to the injury tent, he started putting some weight on it and testing it out. Danny Poole, the athletic trainer, and his staff got him retaped. He came out, got in a stance, pushed off, and he says that he is good to go. I saw him tell his teammates that he should be fine. Also, Matabike of Texas A&M, their defensive tackle, he just came out of their injury tent. I saw the athletic staff give the thumbs up that he is able to return.
So good news on both sides, as you see Xavier Thomas back on the field, sophomore from Florence, South Carolina. Out of the pistol, Kellen Mond gave it off to Jay Sean Corbin. And Logan Rudolph, the other defensive end, tripped him up. He's the brother of the Pittsburgh Steelers backup quarterback Mason Rudolph, formerly of Oklahoma State.
Right now, if I'm Brent Venables, I'm saying the way this game is going, I'm going to really crowd the line of scrimmage now to stop the run and force Kellen Mond to throw the football, because he's not been accurate here through the first half. Take away the run, make him beat me throwing the football, and until he gets hot, don't really change that philosophy.
Mond 5 out of 13 for just 51 yards. Been off target from the start. He's blitzed from behind. His pass is batted down by Jordan Williams. Here's Cassidy Hubbard.
Thanks, Sean. Live on ESPN right now, the women's singles championship at the U.S. Open. Serena Williams going for a record-tying 24th major title, taking on 19-year-old Bianca Andreescu, who's actually up 4-3 in the first set. You can watch both the match and the game on the ESPN app as well. Sean.
That matchup in the women's final, the largest age disparity ever in a Grand Slam final. Wow. 18 years, 264 days. On 3rd and 9, Mond blitzed again. Didn't see what he turned into. A.J. Terrell, the blitzer, and Xavier Thomas, bad ankle and all. Also putting the heat on Kellen Mond.
Well, first of all, Xavier Thomas looks just fine. Thank you very much. He's going to come from right here. The corner blitz again from the short side of the field. A.J. Terrell, and they meet with a force at the quarterback. Well-timed, well-called, 3rd and 10. They brought pressure, and Kellen Mond couldn't get rid of the football.
They could use a big punt from Braden Mann. Set the major college record, averaging 51 yards per punt last season.
3rd and final charge time.
Timeout called by the Aggies.
Fansville.
We're 3.5 minutes of game action away from the State Farm halftime report. Kevin Nagandi, Jonathan Vilma, and Mark Sanchez get you up to date with what's been going on so far on this college football Saturday. Here's Braden Mann to punt, and looking into the sunshine, Darion Kendrick. We were here around this time last year, Todd, and saw punt returners looking in this direction have trouble fielding footballs. Remember when Syracuse was here, Mari Rogers had trouble with a few. This is a bomb by Mann. No problem on the catch from Darion Kendrick, and excellent coverage.
And a
flag down. At the end of it, it was Brian Johnson who brought down Kendrick immediately.
That was a long, high punt right on the sideline with great coverage. I mean, you can't ask for a better special teams play than that, and they needed it. They needed to flip the field.
59-yard punt. His career long is 82. We were there for that last year. That was against Kentucky at Kyle Field.
Tack on some more, I think, at the end.
James Carter, SEC officials on the field and in the replay booth in this non-conference game.
And it appears that Justin Matabike is back on the field for Texas A&M defensively, which is good news.
Crowd getting a little restless here as it's taking the officials a long time to sort this out.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
Well, it's just a perfect kick. I mean, the placement was perfect. There's the block in the back. I mean, it's very easy to see, very easy to call. But the placement of the kick and the height and depth of the kick was spectacular. I guess that's why he was the Ray Guy Award winner last year.
He also set the record with 14 punts of 60 yards or more in one season. That one was just shy of 60. What a weapon. Man already graduated with a degree in marketing. And last year was his first year as their starting punter. Who did they have before him? Ray Gotti? Lawrence after the fake throws deep and caught. Even with excellent coverage there, it got through to Justin Ross when it looked like Leon O'Neal, the safety, had the best shot at it.
Leon O'Neal is coming over the top to help, but he can't find the football. He gets turned around, and by the time he gets his eyes up to find the ball, it's already past his head, right into the hands of Justin Ross.
However, flag down.
Ineligible player, downfield, offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. First down.
John Simpson, senior left guard, third team All-ACC a year ago.
Well,
it is 4 senior starters on the offensive line, and then the left tackle, the sophomore Jackson Carmen.
It was an RPO type play. So Travis Etienne was running a run fake. The line was blocking run. And because Trevor Lawrence held on to it a long time, that's why Simpson got downfield too far.
Boyd has the field position flipped here after the punt and the penalties. Lynn J. Dixon, he's a burner, and he gets wrestled down after he picked up a first down at the 24-yard line.
A little running room for Lynn J. When number 9's in there, it seems like the Aggies are pretty locked into stopping him. 23 comes in, gets a little more space.
All he did as a backup last year behind Etienne. It was average 8.8 yards per carry. He bounces off the pile and goes ahead for a couple, and now Clemson has to keep an eye on the clock here. Under 2.5 to go. The Tigers do have all 3 timeouts.
It does not appear that Jaden Peavy is going to be back in the game for A&M anytime soon. Josh Rogers is now substituting in for Bobby Brown, so he might be the new tackle in that rotation.
Lawrence, man open, first down, 42-yard line. T. Higgins.
Well, Buddy Johnson, the middle linebacker, got his hands on the football, but credit T. Higgins for not losing his concentration and making the catch. Watch Buddy Johnson right in the middle of the field. Number 1, he's going to get a hand on the football, but Higgins is able to still reach back and make the catch. I mean, these two guys, Higgins and Ross, make so many adjustments to the football in the air.
They're both 6'4". Amari Rogers stopped shy of midfield. And another big hand for him as they announce his name. Coming back today from the ACL, the son of T. Martin. Terrific quarterback at Tennessee and now back on the Tennessee coaching staff. And Tyree Johnson, the latest defensive lineman to go down on the field with an injury.
He's their best edge rusher. And, it's been a lot of attrition for A&M here in the first half. Both these teams we mentioned used to playing, practicing in the heat. And so far, A&M getting the worst of it here in the first half.
With more on the injury situation, here's Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, so far we've had so many Texas A&M injuries, as you've mentioned, but one that may not be too severe. Elijah Blades, the starting corner in this game, number 2. It looks like he can return. It is a right shoulder injury. He previously wore that brace on his shoulder before this injury, so it may be something that he's already been suffering from, but he is likely to return to this game.
Well, Charles Oliver, who's a returning starter, 23 career starts, number 21 on the field now. They're also playing without Debian Renfro, who would have been a starter. He's been suspended for each of these first 2 games of the season. Jimbo Fisher telling us last night it's likely he'll be back very soon, perhaps next week when they played Lamar in College Station. Adebike is on the field for the Aggie defense. They rallied the ball nicely to Lynn J. Dixon.
This possession, I think, is a critical possession for the A&M defense because this is where they have to get a stop and no more points. It's already 10-3. Clemson is going to get the football to start the second half. They deferred after winning the toss. And so this is a time when A&M needs to really come up with a stop. because right now their offense is struggling. Only under 100 yards of total offense. This new Clemson defense, we wondered, could they play at the same level that the great defense had last year? But so far in this game, the first half, they've been outstanding.
And it's hard to figure out what Jimbo Fisher could do differently with the play calling. As you said, it looked for a while he was trying to lean more heavily on the run just to let Mon settle in a little bit. But so far, no sign that he's going to do that.
Yeah, well, and again, you can't play with uneven hands. You've got to be balanced. I mean, he wants to be balanced. He wants to mix some play action in. He just needs his quarterback to hit a couple in a row and get his confidence back. And I think he's capable of doing that. But until that happens, he can't let this game get too far away from him on the scoreboard.
I think if you're a Texas A&M fan, despite Mon's struggles, 5 out of 14, you have to be encouraged. They're really playing toe-to-toe here again for the second year in a row with the Clemson Tigers. Pressure off the corner, and the run goes up the middle. Travis Etienne first down. 2 timeouts left for Clemson, but they'll get a clock stoppage to move the chains. They're at the A&M 46.
Plenty of time here for Trevor Lawrence. Got the first down just inside of midfield.
After 13 for 23 in the opener against Georgia Tech, he's 15 for 19 today. He has used his legs effectively several times. He throws that ball away. And you hear the referee's mic. The crowd wanted a late hit, and I think they're going to get it as Justin Matabike chased after Trevor Lawrence.
It's going to be roughing the passer, and it's an unnecessary penalty because he had already forced Trevor Lawrence to throw the football away. The pressure forced Lawrence to throw the football away, but the penalty is going to give him 15 more yards.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense, number 52. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That could have been bad for Lawrence. Looked like his right leg bent awkwardly as he got wrestled down to the turf by the junior from McKinney, Texas, Justin Matabike.
Now in this formation right here, into the boundary, you've got T. Higgins as the slot, and Amari Rogers is outside. The slot usually draws coverage on a safety. See if they go to Higgins here on this play.
On 1st and 10 from the 31, Lawrence fires, caught. T. Higgins stopped short of the goal line. The rocket into coverage by Lawrence, and T. Higgins winning yet another jump ball.
This is a quarterback who has confidence, A, in his arm, and B, in his receiver. There's 2 defenders there. The ball's behind Higgins. He still reaches back and makes a whale of a catch.
1st and goal. Etienne stopped shy of the goal line.
Good place to use a timeout.
Of the half. Clemson, 30 seconds.
Well, it leaves just 1 timeout for either side. Clemson with 1 remaining.
I talked about just the acrobatic ability in the air of both Higgins and Justin Ross. This throw is between 2 defenders, and it's behind Higgins. He still reaches back in traffic and makes that catch. I mean, you know, that's good defense, but just an incredible individual effort by T. Higgins. But again, most quarterbacks would not even throw a football in there. But if you have confidence in your guy going to get it, give him a shot.
And when you know you can get it there in a hurry, as Lawrence can and did. Dabo Swinney fired up. Another big head-to-head matchup against Jimbo Fisher. When Jimbo was at Florida State from 2010 through 17. They went head-to-head 8 times. They went 4-4. In each instance, the winner of that game won the ACC Atlantic. And in 7 out of those 8 instances, the winning team went on and won the entire conference championship. Swinney won last year at A&M, so he has the all-time lead against Jimbo 5-4, and he has a 16-3 lead today as Trevor Lawrence takes it in from a yard out.
Nice read by Trevor Lawrence and a beautiful block by Luke Price. Watch the tight end, number 80, Luke Price, come over and get a block right on the end. Trevor Lawrence is going to fake in here and follow the block by Price. A&M is really locked in on number 9. Good block by Luke Price, and then Trevor Lawrence gets it in the end zone.
The extra point good by B.T. Potter. 17-3, Clemson.
At Domino's, a delivery gone wrong doesn't just hurt your pizza.
The number 1 team in here at home today as we look at this week's rankings brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. And the Tigers with a 17-3 lead. Alabama, a big lead on New Mexico State. Georgia up early against Murray State. Ohio State, to me, a very surprisingly easy win over a good Cincinnati team.
Yeah, you know, I knew that Cincinnati was going to have to play a perfect game to really make it competitive, but that's a solid win for the Buckeyes.
B.T. Potter kicks off. It's a touchback, and just when you think it can't get more interesting with Antonio Brown, Cassidy Hubbard, we guess it is.
Yeah, Sean, he thought the news was done. It's not. Antonio Brown and the Patriots have reached an agreement on a 1-year deal worth up to $15 million. That includes a $9 million signing bonus. A source tells our Adam Schefter he won't be eligible to play, though, until week 2. Sean, Todd?
I don't understand that whole saga. I really don't.
It's just crazy. It really is on so many levels. Mon takes a knee. Well, it'll be interesting because, you know, New England has a history of taking players who perhaps had interesting past. Randy Moss comes to mind as a great receiver.
Josh Gordon, right?
Yes.
And he's still there.
Josh Gordon is there. Corey Dillon back in the day, the running back. And if you don't follow the line the Patriot way, they just send you back out. So I guess they feel why not take the chance with the talent that's a handful that they are taking on for sure. 17-3 Clemson at the half. Here's Hollywood Dabo.
Well, Coach Sweeney, early in that half, Texas A&M was kind of playing slow, keeping your offense off the field. How were you able to come on and establish some rhythm there to end the half?
Well, we just missed a couple of plays early. You know, we thought we had a chance at a touchdown. We probably didn't do a good job of subbing early. And then we come back and we were just off on the ball to Overton. So just missed a couple plays, and then they extended some drives. You know, they didn't get much out of it, but they were able to keep the ball for a little while and keep us off the field. But then we got in a little bit of a rhythm, and that's a heck of a 2-minute drive right there. Great job finishing. We got the run game going, and that's opened everything else up for us in the passing game. So a lot of big plays. Heck of a play here by T. Higgins. So tough half. We didn't play very good in the second half against these guys last year, so we got an opportunity to see if we can get better.
Thank you, Coach.
Got it.
That's not a coach eager just to run off to the locker room with a 1 or 2 word answer. State Farm halftime report coming your way after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Welcome back to the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week.
You're watching the ACC on ESPN from the home of the ACC champions, defending national champions, the Clemson Tigers, who lead Texas A&M 17-3 as we head for the second half. Here on a sweltering day, hottest opening kickoff temperature ever in Happy Valley, in Death Valley rather, at 96 degrees. And we've had some texts from people in the stands. It is uncomfortable out there, and a lot for the players to deal with as well. Tale of 2 quarters. A&M really felt like it had things going its way in the first quarter, had that long drive that resulted in a field goal early in the second quarter, but then domination by Clemson.
Well, and really in that first quarter, everything was going right for A&M. They couldn't get the ball in the end zone, and really it was Kellen Mond just never got going throwing the football. 5 of 14 in the first half, and that was really the difference, because at one point they had 10 more plays than Clemson. They were controlling the game, but they weren't making enough plays in the passing game, and pretty soon Trevor Lawrence started making his own plays in the second quarter.
Clemson had 11 first downs in the second quarter to 1 for A&M. They outgained the Aggies 195-18 in the second quarter. All of the scoring in this game was in the second quarter. A&M kicked the field goal to take a 3-0 lead, then 17 straight points for the Tigers, who will receive the opening kickoff from Braden Mann to begin the second half with Joseph Ngata, very talented true freshman out of Folsom, California. Dabo Sweeney continues to rave about.
How tall you think he is? The receiver at Clemson, right? So he's
6'4", 6'5", and about 210, 215. And we haven't seen yet at least called his name, Frank Latson, but he's another freshman wide receiver at 6'3" and about 200. That's a touchback, and here's our Pacific Life game summary.
Well, for Kellen Mond, coming into this game, he played so well last year. This was a touchdown early on, and he just has not had the kind of game that he was hoping to have. But you know what? There's still 30 minutes left in the game. Meanwhile, Trevor Lawrence started to heat it up in the second quarter, 16 of 20, a lot of good decisions, used his legs, scrambled for a couple plays, and got his team out in front by 2 touchdowns.
Well, here comes Lawrence out of the gun. And Travis Etienne ahead for a yard. Moments ago, Holly with Jimbo.
Well, Coach, as your players came out of the tunnel, I heard you say eliminate the clutter. What do you want them to do here in the second half?
Play one play at a time. We've had plenty of opportunity. We had plenty in the first drive. They made 2 or 3 good plays. They had a drive. We were moving right back and fumbled, gave it to them, and then give up a 90-yard drive and then have a smart. We gave them a not very smart penalty when we had a sack. Just relax and play. Clemson is a very good football team, but we are too. We just got to relax and play one play at a time. And when those opportunities in front of you, take advantage of them. You're good enough to do it. Just make the plays.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
And we should point out at one time in the game last year between these two in College Station, the Aggies trailed 21-6. They got within 2 and had a chance at a 2-point conversion that would have tied it in the final minute. Lost 28-26. Bobby Brown.
Yeah, he just got chopped. I mean, it was a cut block by the left guard, John Simpson. And Jackson Carman, the left tackle, kind of hit him also. They could have possibly called a chop block on this, but it's good to see him walk off the field. But that defensive tackle position now today has just gotten messed around with. All 3 of those guys have been on and off the field.
And Holly tells us Jaden Peavy will not return. Matt Abike has returned. He's gone down to the field a couple of times. Matt Abike and Brown are the starters, so it's Josh Rogers back in there again, number 99, in the middle of that defensive front. Lawrence felt the pressure, fires low and incomplete. So after incompletion intended for Justin Ross, another one, and it's a 3-and-out to start the half for Clemson.
And those are 2 passes that Justin Ross had his hands on. The first one was a clear drop. That one was a lower throw, but still a catchable pass. And Clemson will have to punt it away on their first possession.
Here's Will Spires to punt. He punted 8 times in College Station against the Aggies last year, the most he's ever had in a game. Rashad Paul back deep for it. Very good punt return. They come after Spires. And he hits one very high, a fair catch made at the 31-yard line, perhaps the 32, and they put it down.
Well, Kellen Mond came in full of confidence, but never got on track. 5 of 14. This was the second play of the game. Could have been a touchdown to Buckley, but the entire first quarter he was overthrowing guys. He just was high with his throws. Part of that may be nervous energy. Part of it just not comfortable in the pocket, comfortable with his feet. Never got it going, but hey, he's got 30 more minutes to get that turned around.
Well, last year he was a work in progress. He'd come out of a spread offense, which he had also played in high school. He told us he had never taken a snap under center until Jimbo Fisher became his coach. Transition to a pro-style offense, but even as he was learning last year, he threw for a career-high 430. They feel he's much improved this year, but having a much different day against the Tigers. Jayshon Corbin got rocked by Isaiah Simmons.
But the good news, if you're a Texas A&M fan, is 330 of that 430 came in the second half in that game last year at College Station. So still plenty of time for him to get it going.
Matter of fact, that was the A&M record for the second half. 333 yards passing against Clemson to lead them back to the situation where they very nearly tied it in the final minute. Corbin spins away from the hit of A.J. Terrell and got back to the line of scrimmage where Chad Smith did make the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 7 for the Aggies.
Brent Venables just said that when he talked about A.J. Terrell for us yesterday, he just said he's a model of consistency. Every snap, we just know what we're going to get. We trust him. And that was just a sure open field tackle against a dangerous guy in the flat.
Terrell set the tone in that national championship win against Alabama with the first score of the game, a 44-yard interception return, the first defensive touchdown ever in the college football playoff national championship game. They also had 8 tackles a season high in the win against the Tide. Looked like the right tackle moved.
Very long snap count by Kellen Mond and Carson Green too early to move.
Offense on a 54. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Well, when a snap takes that long, it's not easy being Green.
Yeah, especially when you're working against Xavier Thomas. I love the Sesame Street reference, Kermit the Frog.
Third down and 12. A&M still doesn't have 100 yards of offense for the game. 95 yards. Mon, step to his left, fires, and that's through the hands of Courtney Davis, who's had a chance to make a couple of catches and has had the ball go off his hands.
Kellen Mond a little gimpy at the end of the play. That was a ball that could have been caught by Davis. There was a distraction, but Kellen Mond hung in there and made a pretty good throw. Would have been a first down. Not sure what happened to him. It'd be a cramp, but here's the 3 receivers to the bottom of the formation, and Davis gets in behind. Got a little distracted by Isaiah Simmons, number 11, who reached for the ball.
Braden Mann.
Jeez.
Driving spiral fielded by Darion Kendrick. Did well to turn it into a positive return after Buddy Johnson whiffed.
The college football playoff lives on ESPN.
We're on this huge stage playing a national championship against who people say the best team ever is. It's just about taking advantage of that moment. To be better than last year. That's always what it's going to be every year, and I think I'm getting there, but that's a lot to live up to.
Yes, it is. National championship winning quarterback is a true freshman. Offensive MVP at that game against Alabama, threw for 347 and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. A.J. Dixon, the ball carrier. And, you know, people wondered going into that game, Todd, true freshman quarterback, national championship against Alabama, maybe the greatest team of all time, some people were saying about the Tide going into that game, and we were there for it for ESPN Radio. He wasn't the least bit flustered from the get-go.
No. The thing that made him so good in those last 2 games that we saw him, Notre Dame and Alabama, he saw everything that those teams tried to do to him defensively.
Throwing on the run. So J.C. Chalk, grandson of Gene Stallings, who is Dabo Swinney's coach at the University of Alabama.
Normally, when you have a young quarterback, particularly a true freshman quarterback, you think you can fool him. You can surprise him with some look. Mike Elko even told, he said, this guy sees everything. He's a hard guy to fool. He understands and he processes things, and he makes the right decision the majority of the time.
Short pass for Cornell Powell. Nice catch with Ronnie Elam draped on him. Elam's tackle stopped them just short of the first down.
Cornell Powell.
The one thing that A&M has been able to do, what they set out to do in this game, was to neutralize the run game. They've been able to do that. They've held Clemson to 45 yards rushing, and that's probably why Dabo is going to elect to punt here and not go for it on 4th and 1, because they've not been able to run successfully against this Aggie defense.
Well, they've rushed for just 45 yards. Etienne, who averaged 17 yards per carry on his way to 205 in the opener against Georgia Tech, has just 33 yards on an average of 2.8. Will Spires in the shadows. Quite happy to be in the shade on this very hot day. Short punt and a fair catch made by Rashad Paul. Here's Holly Rowe.
Well, at halftime off camera, I asked Jimbo Fisher, hey, is everything okay with Kellen Mond, your quarterback? And he said, yeah. said, gosh, it seems like he's had a few accuracy issues. And he said, exactly. Kellen did suffer for some cramps. They've hydrated him as he limped off to the sideline, but he's fine, apparently, according to his coach. He's just got to settle down and start making some of those throws.
Yeah, he's got to make the throws. I mean, there's throws to be had out there, and there's completions to be made. He's just got to, this is his team. You know, he's got to take charge of it now and make some plays.
We've talked a lot about his improvement. They feel like he's a better decision maker with a year under his belt in the offense. Certainly much more comfortable. Doesn't really have to think. Now he knows the plays and what the priorities are. They also feel like mechanically he's better. That's a throw behind Davis.
Great catch. Did he hold on to it or not?
The Clemson defenders don't think so, but they give him the catch at the 45-yard line. And Todd, a couple of the things that you could elaborate on. They want him to hold the ball higher. Pass, he had a tendency to bring it down. Yeah. And to use his legs more. He's limping again.
Yeah, I think he's got cramps in his calf is what the problem is.
So Zach Calzada, true freshman backup, grabs his helmet. Seems hard to believe, Todd, that would happen so close to halftime. Usually on a hot day like today, they're all in there hydrating at the half. Mon, does he have his legs under him? Throws, and Davis couldn't hang on to that one with Nolan Turner in coverage.
Good throw. It looks like it's his right calf that might be bothering him, which is his plant leg when he throws the football. Which, you know, you can see he's holding that right toes up. It is his right calf that's bugging him. So they'll either keep him in the game, or if they take him out, they'll try to get some fluids in him quickly to try to get rid of that. But it's more of an annoyance than it is anything else right now for Kellen Mond.
Ideally, they'd like to continue this drive and work on that when they're on defense. 2nd and 10. 9.5 to go, third quarter. 17-3 Clemson. Screen for Jayshawn Corbin, and he's run down from behind, just shy of midfield. Tanner Muse, the safety there.
Corbin's going to be slow getting up. I'll tell you what, you see the speed, the closing speed of Tanner Muse on that play. He's 6'2", 230 pounds, and he chased him down. Landed kind of awkwardly at the end of the play and grabbing the back of his leg.
Tyler Davis, number 13, the true freshman defensive tackle, also on the play. 9:18 to go, third quarter.
On an all-new season of Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
There's a storm. Now throws, has two receivers open, and a Clemson touchdown. On 3rd and 9, Mon blitzed again. Didn't see what he turned into. Lawrence fires, caught. T. Higgins, the 16-3 lead today as Trevor Lawrence takes it in. We'll look at some of today's biggest moments, brought to you by Samsung QLED TV. So without Jayshawn Corbin, they're starting running back on the field. Isaiah Spiller, true freshman, in at running back.
And the concern is not can he run the football, it's does he know what he's doing in pass protection. That's the big issue for a young back.
He is speedy. The quarterback, Kellen Mond's been limping. It's like a right calf cramp. 3rd down and 6. Just shy of midfield with Clemson up 17-3 in the third quarter. And a false start here against the Aggies.
Kellen Mond is trying to adjust protections and make so many changes at the line of scrimmage.
False start.
That there's just not a lot of rhythm for that offensive line.
3rd down.
Well, he's been off. The receivers have had a chance to make some plays for him. None of them have had a big day. 2 catches each for Jamon Osmond.
When you're struggling, and the difference between 3rd and 6 and 3rd and 11 can be huge against a team like Clemson on the road.
Kendall Rogers also with 2 catches. 4 wide receivers on 3rd down and 11. And Spiller, the freshman running back. They show blitz from Mond's right, and they come after him. He gets hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Intended for Cameron Buckley.
And Nolan Turner with good coverage downfield, and Chad Smith with pressure on the quarterback. But again, 3rd and 11, they've got to throw. There's no threat of any run or play action. And that plays right into the hands of the rush and the coverage.
Well, Mon limps off, the training staff right there to tend to his needs. And here's Braden Mann to punt.
Sideline warning. Texas A&M. That's their first warning of the game. 4th down.
Just 117 yards of total offense for Texas A&M. Mon threw for 430 against Clemson last year. Darian Kendrick, the fair catch. Well, the 50th season of Monday Night Football kicks off on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app with our annual Week 1 doubleheader. At 7, Houston and New Orleans, and then Denver and Oakland without Antonio Brown, who's now a New England Patriot. A special edition of Monday Night Countdown kicks off our coverage at 5 p.m. Eastern. There's the timeline for Antonio Brown. Very short but eventful stay with the Oakland Raiders. Frostbite from cryotherapy. The whole deal with the helmet that they wouldn't let him wear. Confrontations with Mike Mayock, some interesting Instagram posts, and finally they said goodbye. So he asked them to release him on Instagram, and he signed with the New England Patriots today. He's already tweeted out a picture of him in a Patriot jersey and hat. Justin Ross, the intended target here from Trevor Lawrence, and Miles Jones had the coverage.
Miles Jones has played pretty well today. I mean, they've gone after him. He's been on, he's played physical with these big receivers. He's been in good position, and he's used his length to get his hands on footballs.
Elijah Blades, who was injured earlier, is in the game, starting cornerback today for Texas A&M. Quick screen to Travis Etienne. They've done a great job collaring him. They actually grabbed him by the collar there for a horse collar. It was Damani Richardson, the safety.
In good position to make that a short game. And again, they are just so zeroed in on Travis Etienne. And that was just going to be a short game. Might have been the first down, but now you're going to add 15.
Personal foul. Horse collar tackle. Defense number 26. 15 yards will be added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Mike Elko watching. Again, his guy's in good position. Where was the horse collar?
It wasn't.
Was it his left hand on the inside of the collar? Maybe it was the left hand, but the right hand was on the number.
What's bringing Bill Lamagna?
I think the left hand maybe was up around the neck.
But if the left hand's in the front, the horse collar tackle has to be from the side shoulder to the back. And so I think the official with the right hand, he wanted it up higher. It should have been up above where the nameplate was if he was going to call the horse collar.
It was on the number, not on the nameplate. I think, Bill, because he went down so awkwardly, because he was pulled from the front, that's what drew the call.
Probably was a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
It looked from up here like it was a horse collar, too.
The way he went down made it look like a horse collar for sure.
Then Etienne on the next play for 4. Still rushed for just 37 yards, 2.8 per carry.
Now this is their adjustment, and a really good adjustment by Tony Elliott and Jeff Scott. They know that he's not got a lot of running room in between the tackles, so let's just throw it to him out in space. Let him get out there, make somebody miss, get some blockers out in front of him, and let him use that speed. He just hasn't had a lot of openings to utilize his speed, except for those little pass plays. So dangerous, though. A 90-yard touchdown run last week against Georgia Tech.
Longest in the history of the stadium. They flip it to Justin Ross. He breaks the tackle, has another first down. You know, we talked a lot, Todd, about how close the game was between these two teams last year. And Dabo Swinney, when we visited with him yesterday, said players overcame our coaching. He said Etienne had 8 carries the whole game. Lawrence threw only 9 passes. Justin Ross played 1 snap. Gage Cervenka, the offensive lineman, played 1 snap. He said they did a great job of overcoming our coaching. Jeff Scott, the offensive coordinator, told us yesterday Etienne will probably have 8 touches in the first 15 plays. To the end zone, and incomplete, and flags come flying down. Elijah Blades had the coverage on T. Higgins.
This happens so often. It was a good play fake by Lawrence. Because the ball was underthrown, the defender is in a helpless situation. The receiver stops to come back to the ball, and the defender barrels into it.
Defense, number 2, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
There's no such thing as face guarding in college football, but on an underthrown ball, he can't put the brakes on, and he makes contact with the receiver coming back for the football.
And our view from the progressive pylon cam, it looks like pass interference, whether you're a pylon or a human spectator. Then Jay Dixon, the running back now. He finds a seam and puts his head down to get close to another first down inside the 5-yard line. Damani Richardson, the freshman safety, who Mike Elko raved about yesterday, he made the tackle. He said Richardson's extremely intelligent. He picked up the defense faster than any player that he has ever coached. That's why he's a starter. He's a true freshman. Taking over for Donovan Wilson, who was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys, the leader of that defense last year, in the back. And there is a touchdown for Lynn J. Dixon.
That was the Clemson offensive line feeling a little fatigue out of that defensive unit and just pushing. I mean, they've got a couple backups in there. Matt Bockhorst is in at left guard. Got a couple big blocks on the last 2 plays, and they just pounded their way into the end zone there.
And Dabo Swinney talked a lot to us yesterday about depth, the importance of playing a lot of players. Last year they averaged 72.5 players played per game. That was 17 more players per game than any other team that made the college football playoff. Taking advantage of their depth again today. The backup running back Dixon with the latest touchdown.
You, Jonathan, do what you do best.
We invite you to kick off your Week 1 NFL Sunday with ESPN and the ESPN app. 10 a.m. Eastern, Sunday NFL Countdown crew will have an interview with Baker Mayfield. Plus, Randy Moss ranks this week's best catches in college football, and you got mossed. And they'll have early breaking stories, injury updates, as well as previews of each game right up to kickoff. A touchback off the foot of B.T. Potter.
Well, one of the most elite players on this defense, Isaiah Simmons. What makes him so special is versatility. They line him up in several different places. Linebacker, in the box. He's one of their best pass rushers when they bring him on pressure. He's played a lot of this game as kind of a middle safety, but he's 6'4", 230 pounds, can really run, has great wingspan. He is just a versatile athlete that plays multiple positions in what they call their Sam or nickel linebacker.
He was a late recruit out of Olathe, Kansas. Brent Venables went to his high school to visit him and said to his coach, usually our players look like Simmons when they leave Clemson, not when they walk in the front door to start their career. Lamont throwing on the run, Jamon Osborne. It's going to be a conversation. And is it going to be a catch? They're still discussing it. Looks like the players are moving toward the spot of the catch. Yes.
Well, this is what Kellen Mond did the entire game last year. Extend the play, beat the pressure with his legs, and then make throws down the field. It was very close. Did Osborne have 1 foot inbound when he secured the catch? The right foot was down. The left foot landed out of bounds. Was the right foot all the way inbounds is my question.
The ruling on the field is a clear pass. The previous play is under further review.
Nope. Well, that's incomplete.
Summer is over, and
well, the replay review continues. James Carter, the referee, about to announce the verdict. Was it a complete pass as ruled on the field?
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
I guess they felt it wasn't conclusive, But sure looked to us like by the time he catches the ball from the ref hat view, if a foot comes down out of bounds. I guess the question is, was the back foot dragging before the right foot was on the sideline? Bill DeMonnier?
Right, the view I have, he's in stride. His feet are off the ground. He secures the ball, airborne inbounds, but he comes down on the line. I'd rule this an incomplete pass.
Apparently didn't see conclusive proof to overturn it, so a break for A&M. 1st and 10 from the 41. Mon, far sideline. No question about that catch. Jamon Osmond.
Well, Mond and Osmond were teammates at IMG, roommates, good friends, had good chemistry together as quarterback wide receiver. Trying to get a little something going here.
Yeah, Osmond hasn't had a big day. He was one of those players who was quoted as saying they expected to win here today, that the upset would be coming. 4 catches for 40 yards for Osmond. There were also a couple of comments from Aggies players that they thought the secondary of Clemson was definitely a weakness. Well, they've passed for just 99 yards today. So if it's a weakness, it has not been exposed. They bring pressure again. That's been a staple, and they get to Mond. Kayvon Wallace, the blitzing safety, dumped the A&M quarterback back at the 41-yard line for a loss of 10.
Well, this is what Clemson's been doing. 3 down linemen, 3 safeties, and then they've been mixing pressures in with these linebackers. This time it looks like they're going to drop 8, but no, they bring extra pressure. Mon gets confused, and they get the sack. But that lineup that Brent Venables is using, that alignment of 3 down linemen, 3 deep safeties, one of them being Isaiah Simmons, and 3 linebackers in the middle part of the defense, has been extremely effective today.
Since 2014, Clemson leads the nation in sacks and tackles for a loss. They're aggressive and they have great talent. Mon throws far sideline. Another conversation upcoming, and they rule it a catch again. Jamon Osmond.
Well, they have to go for it here too, right? I mean, that's no question. 3rd and 20, they get a big chunk of that back. They're down 24-3. 3rd down, I'm sorry.
3 out of 10 on 3rd down.
See, they're trying to instruct this freshman tailback from the sidelines. He's in there. Pass protection is tough.
And a low snap, and Mon has to go to the ground for it. And it'll be 4th down. We are told by Holly that Jayshawn Corbin, their leading running back, starting running back, will not return.
McCullum, the center, they put a defensive lineman right over his nose. And that is disruptive for a center, and it created a bad snap. There's Corbin on the bench, his replacement, a true freshman, and now after that loss of yardage, Jimbo Fisher has to punt the football away.
Yeah, 4th and 9. He's not going to go for it, but
nope.
It's deep enough into the game, Todd. 3 minutes to go, 3rd quarter, and down by 21 points. I think you might take the chance. Realistically, a chance of pulling off the upset here today. Man's punt caught by Darian Kendrick. Friends, we hope you'll help people affected by Hurricane Dorian. You don't have to go very far to the east of here to see a tremendous amount of damage. Of course, the Bahamas devastated. Your donation will support Red Cross preparation, response, and recovery efforts in the U.S. and the Bahamas. Go to www.redcross.org/ESPN or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to donate now. Estimated damage in the Bahamas, and it seems that the damage and unfortunately the death toll keep rising. $7 billion. Almost 400,000 residents here in the Carolinas without power. People stranded on the Outer Banks. So if you can help, please do. Travis Etienne, the ball carrier. Jaden Peavy made the tackle. We were told he wouldn't be back in there, but he's gutting it out on a obviously very sore left ankle. Well, he's done a great job on Etienne. Clemson with So many ways to beat you, still leading comfortably. Justin Ross the catch. I do think we're seeing an example of why Mike Elko is considered a rising star in coaching. It has been for the last few years. Wake Forest, Notre Dame, and now here at Texas A&M, Jimbo Fisher was asked, why'd you hire Mike Elko? He said, because when we played against him and he was at Wake Forest, I hated preparing for his defenses. I thought he was tremendous.
Well, and Dabo Swinney told us the same thing. They get very familiar with playing him at Wake Forest, and they create a lot of problems for you.
ETN dragged down, but it looked like he got enough for the first down. Tyree Johnson the stop. Mike Elko, an Ivy Leaguer, Penn graduate, was a defensive back there in the late 90s under a terrific coach, Al Bagnoli. And he said he knew he wanted to coach when he was in college. He said, I almost dropped out of Penn because I wanted to get away from the rigorous academics, get more of a head start in coaching. Yeah. And apparently the parents didn't like that idea. So he finished at Penn and then started into coaching. Lawrence trying to torch Elko's defense deep. And it was interesting. We asked Elko, who were your mentors? He said, I really didn't have any. He was a 23-year-old defensive coordinator at the Merchant Marine Academy.
Right. We didn't even know they had football when he told us.
No, we didn't know that. Coast Guard's their big rival. He said, I felt sorry for the players because I really didn't know what I was doing. But basically, he said he's learned by watching others, seeing what he likes from other defenses and adapting it to what he does. Dave Clawson became a great influence on him. He's coached for Dave Clawson in a few places. I think he's probably going to be a head coach this time next year that he wants to be. Lynn J. Dixon wrestled down near the first down marker by Charles Oliver.
Well, as we get towards the end of the third quarter here, Clemson now, that's 56 plays. And one of the reasons they had so much success and made so much improvement last year, A&M's defense, they averaged in the regular season only 60 snaps a game for their defense. So right now, this game is kind of going against them in that way. And that's a credit to this Clemson offense.
Automatic first down.
You take one thing away from them, they got other ways to beat you, and they got a veteran, experienced, physical offensive line that takes care of their quarterback and blocks for their runners. So this is an offensive football team. I don't care how good you are as a defensive coordinator. This is a difficult, maybe the most difficult offense to prepare for anyway.
Well, they have a quarterback who is almost certainly going to be the first pick in the NFL draft in a couple of years. They have ETN, who some think is the best player on their team right now. They have at least two wide receivers who project to be first-round picks in Higgins and Ross. Here's Frank Ladson, the latest tall, talented wide receiver, freshman out of Miami, South Dade Senior High School, arrived in January, had more than 100 yards receiving in the spring game, and he looks a lot like Higgins and Ross and Bengata, 6'5" and around 200 pounds plus. Lawrence pointing to the scoreboard, saying to the coaches, we don't have to snap it if you want me to, and now Dabo tells him, let's go to the fourth quarter. Clemson leading 24-3. ESPN's presentation of college football on ABC will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
This
Heading to the fourth quarter here in Death Valley with Clemson leading Texas A&M 24-3 as we continue Dr. Pepper's championship drive game of the week. Clemson hoping to drive to another national title. The defending national champs. They've won 2 of the last 3. They're the #1 team in the country this year. Trying to win their 17th in a row to tie the school record established in 14 and 15. Wide open and incomplete. The throw just a little bit off target for Frank Ladson, the freshman out of Miami who was looking for his second touchdown catch in as many college games.
Well, they had it set up perfectly because they put ETN out wide. That left Ladson on safeties, and he ran by 2 safeties. And just a little bit of a bad pass by Trevor Lawrence. The ball was a little bit too low and too far out in front of Ladson. Made a nice effort. but that would have been an easy touchdown with a better throw. Well-conceived play, just weren't able to connect.
Got a lot of terrific wide receivers here. They call themselves wide receiver U. Lawrence spun away from Michael Clemens. Throws incomplete. And you mentioned it earlier. Dabo told us yesterday, with all the great wide receivers, and we're not going to mention them all because it's a long list, but Mike Williams, DeAndre Hopkins, for example, come to mind among others. But he said only 2 showed up ready to play their first day on campus, Sammy Watkins and Justin Ross, and that was until this year when both Ngata and Ladson showed up ready to go physically, mentally, a body type. Lawrence hit after he threw it by Aaron Hansford.
Yeah, it was a clean play, but he was a little ginger coming off the field.
Well, they have an embarrassment of riches now at wide receiver here at Clemson. Trying to down the punt, did they? It appears, at least for the moment, that
nope. On a touchback.
A little slow on the signal. Isaiah Simmons tried to rescue it. Dalen Spector there as well, number 10. There's the progressive pylon cam, well placed here. Bill Lamagna says touchback.
The ball stays live with him batting it back, but because it was touched in the end zone, they're not going to put the ball at the 1. They get the touchback out of it.
Talking about the athleticism of Simmons. He was on the track team here as a freshman, redshirt freshman football player, and the coaches said he had the ability to be an NCAA champion jumper had he stayed with track. Isaiah Spiller ahead to the 25-yard line.
I thought it was interesting, too, because he said that was his first love, track. He made the comment, he said, I kind of grew out of a track body, though.
He sure did.
He became a football body and kind of grew out of that track body.
He said he couldn't really do both. You know, he'd leave football practice and his legs were so sore they went over to the track team. It was hard to be as good at track, obviously, as he might have been. Two-time state champion long jumper in high school in Kansas, Isaiah Simmons. Spiller, the ball carrier. Jake Venables in on the stop, number 15. He is the son of the defensive coordinator, Brent Venables. He had 3 tackles last week. And we asked Brent yesterday, are you able to be a dad? You're so busy going through all the signals. He said, no, I try not to be, but the other players on the sideline were telling me it's okay. That you'll give an extra fist pump. Be happy for your son.
He does love that his son is a grinder, though, and loves the game. He'd have a hard time accepting it if he didn't.
Third down and 5. This methodical approach, which served A&M well early, now working against them, down by 3 touchdowns. There are flags down for the movement along the line. Kendrick Rogers the catch. It looked like Justin Maskell was offside for the Tigers.
And a free play and a nice job by Kellen Mond finding Rogers.
Offside. Defense number 7. That penalty is declined. First down.
I'll say this is a must-score drive for Texas A&M and really a must situation to get a little bit more sense of urgency. I think you were alluding to that a moment ago.
Yeah, you can't stick with this let's bleed the clock approach with under 13 minutes to go and down by 3 touchdowns. Mon given plenty of time. Some backups in there on defense for Clemson. Isaiah Spiller the catch and a first down into Tiger territory. Dabo Swinney told us we're always going to play a lot of guys. It helps morale. The guys come and work hard in practice. They deserve to play. Of course, it helps also, Todd, when you don't have a lot of drop-off. You know, when the guy you put in was also a 4-star recruit or a 3-star recruit.
And it helps when you win, what, 12 games in a row by 20 points or more. You know, they played 90 in their opener last week against Georgia Tech. 90 players.
Dabo said, I was a backup wide receiver to Alabama, but I got in all the time. Kagan Baldry, the fullback, on the field. Stays in to help block for Mond. Another open receiver, Kendrick Rogers, with another first down for the Aggies. 12 minutes to go here. Here's Cassidy Hubbard.
Sean, now for today's All-State Mayhem moment, number 25, Nebraska and Colorado, Steven Montez with the flea flicker, 96 yards to Katie Nixon. That brought the Buffs within 3. But on the Cornhuskers' next series, they would respond in a big way. Adrian Martinez to Maurice Washington, 75-yard score. Nebraska up 24-14 in the 4th. Sean, Todd, back to you.
That momentum from the end of last season seems to be carrying over for Scott Frost's team. A pretty favorable schedule. It really gets tough late in the year, although they do have Ohio State in a couple of weeks. 1st and 10. Mond incomplete. Intended for Courtney Davis with Darian Kendrick in coverage.
Perfect position by Kendrick. Moved from wide receiver. Was a high school quarterback. Played at South Point High School. 4 consecutive state championships. And Brent Venables says, you know, he loves the moment. I mean, he loves being out there competing. He's not afraid of anything. And boy, made a nice play there on that pass defense.
And Kendrick, you mentioned 4 straight championships at South Point. Then he comes here last year as a freshman and plays on a national championship winning team. So his last 5 teams have won it all. Mond steps into that throw. Courtney Davis trying to battle. He got wrestled down by Kendrick.
This is clearly the best possession Kellen Mond has had in the football game. He's delivered some nice, accurate throws. He's read what the defense has given him. And he's made the right decisions. And you can see when he gets his feet set and when he knows where he wants to go with the ball, he is a pretty accurate thrower.
He's completed 7 of his last 8. He's 15 of 28 for the game for 174. No touchdowns or interceptions. They have just the field goal. That was the first score of the game in the first minute of the second quarter. 24 in a row for Clemson since. Jamon Osman out of bounds by Balin Spector, redshirt sophomore backup linebacker.
I think he could maybe even look to run the football at this part of the field now. Again, Clemson using that 3-3 look and mixing up when they pressure, but his ability to run in the red zone can be a real weapon for this offense. And you see Jayshon Corbin still on the bench out with the injury. That's why we have Isaiah Spiller, the freshman, in.
Second and 6. Courtney Davis tackled around the ankles by Nolan Turner, who has some help up top. Niles Pinckney rallied the ball as well, the defensive tackle. Graduate student, been a backup here for the last several years, but with Furl, Lawrence, Wilkins, and Bryant all in the NFL, he's a starting defensive tackle. 3rd down and 5, under 10 minutes to go. Nice drive, but it's taking a long time for Kellen Mond and the Aggies, down by 21 points. Tigers crowd the line. They've blitzed a lot today. They bring pressure again. Mond lobs it up, and it's intercepted by Tanner Muse at the goal line. It's a touchback. The pressure affected Muse again. Or Mond, rather, and it was Muse with the interception, his second in as many games and his 5th.
Well, the 2 safeties. Kayvon Wallace, number 12, is the guy who gets the pressure. He forces the underthrow, and the other safety, Muse, is there for the interception. And what a stop by the Tiger defense.
Our last slide there about coach.
Sean McDonough, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe, our producer, Phil Dean, our director, Scott Johnson, our terrific ABC ESPN crew, with you from the home of the national champions, the Clemson Tigers, who just intercepted a pass. The replay booth looking to see if Tanner Muse was down before he went into the end zone. Looked like his knee was down. The ball had not broken the plane to the end zone, so they might put that Bill Lamagna at the 1-yard line.
Philosophically, I like what the officials did. When it's that close, sell it as a touchback. But on that replay review with the pylon cams in that, he's down with a knee, and the ball has not broken the plane of the goal line. It's a correct reversal. It's a difference of 19 yards, and that might mean something to Texas A&M.
That was a heck of a play, not only by Tanner Muse making the interception, but Logan Rudolph, the defensive end, was in man coverage on the back, and that's who Kellen Mond was trying to go to. He was in great position as well.
Struggling to get out of the end zone, Lynn J. Dixon.
Wow, if he did, it was barely out of the end zone.
Hence the importance of that replay review. It's a safety. The officials conferring and ruling it a safety. And 2 points for A&M to make it 24-5. And now a lengthier conversation about this call.
And a flag on the field.
Prior to the snap, illegal substitution against the defense. 12 men in formation. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Where's the 12th? Or did I miss one in my count? I don't know. I just see 11 there.
I only see 11 too.
Now, I don't know.
The previous play is being reviewed for the number of players in formation on the defense.
Oh boy. Timeout, 24-3. Still, we think.
College football on ABC is brought to you by Pacific Life. 150 years strong. Protection and retirement solutions for your future.
Well, lengthy replay review continues. Clemson leading 24-3. They fell behind 3-0. Have scored 24 straight points. Looked like A&M just got 2 on a safety. But it was wiped out for a call of too many men on the field, 12 men on the field. You counted 11. We've gone as wide as we can with all the replays we have. We don't see a 12th man.
Even though Texas A&M known for their 12th man, I don't think they had 12 on the field on that play.
That's right, one of the great traditions in college football. The 12th man. This year it's Braden White, backup linebacker. All right, they've had long enough to look at this. Let's go.
After review, there were only 11 players on the defense. However, the whistle was blown prior to the snap. The play will be first down. We'll redo first down.
Wow. Well, if they knew they blew the whistle prior to the snap, why did they take 3 minutes to watch replays? Because if that happened, why does it matter? You know you blew the whistle, and that stops it, so why does it matter? Bill Lamagnier.
The only thing that would matter is are you going to have the ball at the 1-yard line or the 6-yard line?
Right.
So replay does need to review that part of it. But with the whistle blowing, the crew communication, especially with the radios, should have helped with that scenario.
Well, if the whistle stopped the play, it's only the penalty that's going to count, because the play didn't count. The ball would be on the 6 either way, wouldn't it?
And it would still be reviewable if you had 12 players or 11.
Lynn J. Dixon, the ball carrier. Keldrick Carper.
Well, right now, Clemson wants to use as much clock as they can. They want to get this ball out from the shadow of their own end zone, but in no hurry for sure.
You know, our friend John Gruden has said he'd like there just be no more replay football. Get rid of it all. Let's go to the game played by human beings, coached by human beings, and officiated by human beings. And you have days like today where it's just one stoppage after another. I'm inclined to agree with him. Lynn J. Dixon run out of bounds by Elijah Blades. First down at the 20-yard line.
Well, Travis Etienne, they had his number, 15 carries, 49 yards. Lynn J. Dixon, 65 yards on only 9 carries, averaging over 7 yards a carry. Etienne, however, has been effective catching the football. That's when he has done his most damage. And J. Dixon taking advantage of the space he's been provided.
Max Wright, another defensive lineman who's injured for A&M. We're back at Clemson. Max Wright, defensive end, sophomore from Katy, Texas. Injured on the play for a long time. Was flat on his back, just now kind of sat up. Looked like a right shoulder or collarbone situation.
Well, the one thing that A&M has done a great job of today is neutralizing Travis Etienne as a runner. That was a primary focus. They've done it by bringing an extra defender into the box, an unblocked defender. They've made it hard for him, but very smartly, Clemson has thrown him the football. And it's interesting because we talked to Travis yesterday and we asked him, what's the part of your game you want to get better at this year? He says, I want to be a better receiver. I want to prove that they can throw me the football. He didn't have much room to run tonight, but he has more yards receiving than rushing, and he's still been a factor in the football game.
Career highs with 4 catches and 52 yards. He has a streak that's in jeopardy today. It scored a rushing touchdown in 6 straight games dating back to last year. Has not scored today. Lynn J. Dixon stacked up after he crossed the 25-yard line.
I'll tell you what, Dabo Swinney loves this freshman, Ngata. And he was blocking downfield on Miles Jones, and he talked about how physical he is, and he took him to the ground. He probably didn't hear the whistle, and he kept going, but he loves his work ethic and just the way he approaches his business here as a true freshman.
From Folsom, California. They don't typically recruit in California. Dabo told us he had a text message from a friend on the West Coast whose opinion he trusts. Dixon goes for a first down. So we have a great receiver out here you really should take a look at, and he's interested in Clemson. He's become a Clemson fan in recent years with all the success of the Tigers. Dabo said it's worth a phone call. Jeff Scott, one of the co-offensive coordinators, made the call to the young man, and he said he was so impressed by what the young man had to say on the phone that he said to Dabo, I think I need to make a trip out to the West Coast and meet this young man. And now he's a Clemson Tiger. They think he's the next great one. And Ngata right on cue makes the catch into Aggie territory at the 41-yard line, a gain of 25.
Beautiful back shoulder throw by Trevor Lawrence. Big receiver, impossible to defend when the ball is put there, and Ngata adjusts to it. You know, Jeff Scott was telling us, he asked him, why do you wear number 10? He said, well, you know, 10, I want to be the best I can, and 10 is the best. 1 to 10, 10's the best. And he said, you know, we have a saying here at Clemson, as best is the standard. He says, I think you might fit our personality here.
It wasn't just football. So I want to be a 10 in everything I do. Academics, in the weight room, on the football field, in the community. And they were blown away, I think, as much by the character he demonstrated in their visits, his intelligence, as they were his football skills, which were readily apparent when they watched the tape on 2 state title teams in Folsom, California. 4-yard run for Etienne. Averages over 8 yards per carry in his career. Travis today 3.3. Here's Darian Rencher with his first carry. And Miles Jones made the tackle for Texas A&M. See number 84, Davis Allen, now trotting off the field. He's a true freshman tight end, and we talk about talent infusion.
Yeah.
They think he's going to be a star.
He was the lead blocker on that play, did a nice job right at the point of the attack on the middle linebacker.
Under 6 minutes to go. Deep throw, underthrown for Justin Ross, and intercepted by Ronnie Elam.
Well, that's great coverage by Elam.
He's a senior. He had his first career interception last week as a senior in the opener against Texas State. Now he has his second career pick. They've come in back-to-back games. Senior out of Newton, Texas. 5:49 to go.
Well, coming up later tonight, what I expect to be a monster game. You can see it at 7:30 on ABC when LSU goes into Austin to take on the Longhorns. I checked in with sideline reporter Maria Taylor, who will be doing that game, because the big storyline is the health of the Texas running backs. Keontae Ingram, the only healthy running back right now. All three of his backups are injured. They've had to emergency take a quarterback, Rashawn Johnson, and make him the second-string running back. So how Keontae Ingram holds up, a huge storyline, according to Maria Taylor and offensive coordinator Tim Beck tonight.
Wow, that is a big story. Not just in running, but pass protection. Of course, Sam Ehlinger can run the football pretty well from the quarterback position for the Longhorns as well.
On first down after the interception, Kamon Osmond the catch.
But that is
Kayvon Wallace the tackle.
That is no typical Big 12 defense they're facing tonight. The LSU defense is as rugged as it gets. That'll be a fun one to watch.
So again, Todd, 5.5 minutes to go, down by 3 touchdowns, and a lot of standing around on the offense.
Yeah.
Almost as if they think the game is lost completely. And, you know, well, very strong likelihood is that it is. But still,
even if it is, you can still work on your 2-minute or hurry-up offense in game-live situations. You know, so I think, however you're approaching it, it still might be beneficial to do that.
Isaiah Spiller gets the first down. Here's Cassidy.
Sean, we got a thriller between Nebraska and Colorado, tied at 24. Adrian Martinez with a 6-yard TD run, his second rushing touchdown of the day, along with 2 in the air. It's 31-24 with about 5 to go in the fourth. And coming up next on ABC, Tom Herman and number 9 Texas hosting number 6 LSU. That's coming your way at 7:30 Eastern on ABC. Guys.
That should be a good one. Been a surprisingly non-competitive afternoon in a lot of places today. Kendrick Rogers the catch. Darian Kendrick stops him. I think we both thought Ohio State Cincinnati would be closer.
A little closer, yeah.
Certainly thought Maryland might beat Syracuse, but not put 63 points on the board against
How about the start for Mike Loxley? I mean, that offense is, they must be for real.
Got 79 points in the opener against Howard. You wondered, okay, what does that really mean? But when you throw a 63 out there against Syracuse, that's saying something. Clemson at Syracuse next Saturday night, an ABC Saturday primetime game. Isaiah Spiller, the running back. We're under 4 minutes to go. A lot of streaks, as we mentioned, and one nugget from the Texas A&M side. This is career game as a head coach in college number 120 for Jimbo Fisher. 121, 120 coming into today. The only team that he ever had that didn't score at least one touchdown in a game was 2017, October 27th, up at the Heights at Boston College. A 35-3 loss to the Eagles. The only game his team didn't score at least one touchdown. Mond under pressure, throws over the middle, and it's caught by Kendrick Rogers.
That was another corner blitz that didn't quite get to Kellen Mond. Was able to deliver the football to Rogers, and he's just such a big body. You know, he had a huge game last year against this Clemson defense. Big and physical. There's the release right before the pressure, and Rogers goes up and gets it. No catch. Did not control it all the way to the ground. And no catch.
They're 2nd and 10. 3:20 to go. Clemson likely to extend a lot of the streaks that they brought into today's game, but one that might well end. Mond trouble with the snap, now trouble with the rush. Got it off, completed it, and it's going to be about a 9-yard gain to Courtney Davis. And there's a flag down where Mond got hit. Took a hit from Kayvon Wallace down around the legs.
It was a low snap. The first pressure was there from Xavier Thomas, and then the low hit. That's what is going to draw the flag. Helmet right to the knee area by Kayvon Wallace. Quarterback is in a very vulnerable, defenseless position there.
Personal foul. Roughing the quarterback. Defense. Low hit on the quarterback. 15 yards added to the end of the catch. First down.
Now, Sean, we talked all week. We thought this game was going to be a really good game. We thought Texas A&M, with the maturity and development of Kellen Mond and their offense, and we knew their defense would do a good job against the run. We thought they could compete for 4 quarters. The biggest thing we thought, we didn't think this Clemson defense, we wondered, losing the guys they lost, could they still play at an elite level of defense? And I think tonight they answered and said, yeah, we sure can. Texas A&M only 248 yards of total offense.
Clemson, 30 seconds at least.
Brent Venables doesn't like the call. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary with 3:13 to go. Very slow start for Mond. His numbers will look better with his success here in the 4th quarter, but kind of in garbage time. Trevor Lawrence, solid day, but Todd, the interception stands out because you made the point during our last commercial break. He threw 4 interceptions all of last year. This is now 3 in the first 2 games of this season.
Played in all 15 games, became the starter in game 5 last year. We were here for it, the Syracuse game, but yeah, that one was just an underthrow, and it really was an outstanding play by the corner, Ronnie Elam, but nevertheless, it was, it's 3 interceptions in 2 games. Last week was the first time in his career that he threw multiple interceptions in a game.
He had a streak of 182 without an interception before the 2 picks against Georgia Tech. That was the second longest interceptionless streak in Clemson history. Taj Boyd had one that was 5 attempts longer. So 3:13 to go, and the Aggies back across midfield. Isaiah Spiller down to the 35-yard line. So one streak, it seems, might end for Clemson. They had scored 27 points or more in 16 straight games entering today. That was the school record. They're on 24 right now. They're perhaps in position to win their 12th in a row by 20 points. And if they did that, that would tie Alabama 2018 for the longest such streak by any team in the AP poll era, dating back to 1936. With 12 straight wins by 20 or more. And they took a step toward that one on a big defensive play by Nolan Turner.
Well, we've called his name a lot tonight. The first time we called his name, he got beat in coverage on a little one-on-one swing route. And ever since then, he has made some serious plays. Brent Venables thinks he's been the most improved guy over the last 2 years in their defense.
Son of Kevin Turner, played at Alabama with Dabo Swinney. Well, he was battling ALS. He asked Dabo Swinney to take care of his son after he was gone, and Turner's become a force here at Clemson. Really emerged in the college football playoff last year. Had his first career interception in the semi against Notre Dame, at 4 tackles in a solid game against Alabama. Courtney Davis the catch. Courtney has a first down. Here's a look at today's Crunch Time, brought to you by Cheez-It.
Yeah, well, the Clemson defense, we just got done talking about, they have been outstanding. Corner blitzes, they've mixed up their pressures on Kellen Mond so much. Linebacker blitzes, safety blitzes. This is Kevon Wallace. They've just dominated the game. They dominated the A&M offense from start to finish.
Minute 20 to go. Rodgers trying to get away from the leg tackle of Mario Goodrich, a backup corner out of Kansas City, and he could not. By the way, I love Cheez-Its.
Do you?
My dad, we used to watch Monday Night Football when I was a kid. My dad would eat the Cheez-Its right out of the box, and often go through the box while watching Howard Cosell and Company. Every time I see a box of Cheez-Its, I think of my dear departed dad. 2nd and 3, look out. He got sandwiched again, did Mond, and threw it away. A.J. Terrell, starting cornerback in there. Think they don't want to keep A&M out of the end zone with their best cornerback on the field with 38 seconds to go, up by 3 touchdowns.
Well, Kellen Mond did not see the pressure, but again, they were dropping 7 in coverage. That's why he couldn't get rid of the football early. And Terrell almost gets to him and causes a fumble.
Little bonus Cheez-It crunch time there. 38 seconds to go. Will it be their 12th straight win to tie the record by 20 points or more? It's that narrow win here against Syracuse in Game 5 that propelled them onto this streak. They beat the Cuse by 4, the last-minute touchdown. Spiller stumbles inside the 10 with a first down.
Well, we mentioned that battle between Jimbo Fisher and Brent Venables. And Brent does not want to give up a touchdown here. Started in the 2004 national championship game for the 2003 season, and then 10 consecutive years when Jimbo's at Florida State. Jimbo's going to call a timeout. He wants a touchdown. Brent does not want to give up a touchdown. There are many
watching around the country who may want a touchdown as well. 22 seconds to go. 30-second timeout here. Back for the final 25 seconds. Clemson trying to win its 12th straight by 20 points or more. There are a couple of streaks that are definitely going to be extended. It'll be their 19th straight win in September. Their 17th straight game here at home at Memorial Stadium. Their 17th straight win overall, which ties the school record established in 2014 and 15. But can A&M score a touchdown? First and goal from the 3. 25 seconds to go. Kellen Mond. Isaiah Spiller banged out of bounds with 19 seconds to go by Isaiah Simmons. Again, one of their best defensive players out there to try to keep A&M out of the end zone.
Well, we talked about this too, Sean. You look at the Clemson schedule on paper. This is their toughest opponent. I mean,
a lot of people thought next week would be very tough as well. Syracuse, right. A lot of people thought entering there might be the second best team in the entire ACC. But you wonder about the Orange now after they got shellacked at Maryland today. Second and goal. 19 seconds to go. Mon throws the fade. Courtney Davis incomplete. The ball comes out.
Could not control the catch. Tanner Muse in coverage. He has an interception already, and that time got matched up on a slot receiver and ripped that ball away. It's a good throw, but he just couldn't secure the ball all the way to the ground. Really good effort that time by Tanner Muse, not giving up on the play.
Third and goal, 13 seconds to go.
I think they should run a quarterback run here if they want to get in the end zone. Get the back as a lead blocker and let Kellen Mond run it.
Actually, some considerable drama here given the situation. High throw, batted down. Fourth down goal. Intended for Jamon Osmond.
Here comes another
Jimbo doesn't want to score a touchdown. He's going to use another timeout here.
He's building for next week and the rest of the season, too.
Taco party!
SportsCenter tonight from Los Angeles after Stanford USC with Stan Barrett and Zubin Mehenti. Kirk Herbstreit joins the show because he needs more airtime on a Saturday between game day and LSU Texas. Plus, how this game impacts the playoff race, a breakdown of Serena Williams' quest for that 24th major. All that more at SportsCenter after USC, Stanford on ESPN and the app. The last chance to score a touchdown for A&M. 10 seconds to go, fourth and goal. Barring a penalty, this will be it. They blitz him. Mon, wide open, they get the touchdown. Jalen Weidermeyer.
Now Isaiah Simmons came on a blitz and nobody picked up the tight end. They anticipated that he was going to stay in and block. These guys are all rushing and there's nobody that picks up the tight end. Well-designed play. Kellen Mond gets it to him and the Aggies get themselves a touchdown.
So still just one game out of 121 as a head coach in which Jimbo Fisher's team did not score a touchdown. They score on the 16th play of the drive. First touchdown of his career for Weidermeyer. Will fall to 1-1 with the loss here at Clemson today, and the schedule doesn't get much easier.
No.
They have Alabama on October 12th, number 2. They play number 3 Georgia, now number 3 obviously, in late November, and they finish the regular season at LSU in a rematch of that 7 overtime game from last year, won by Texas A&M.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's tough about that schedule, you know you're going to play the SEC West every year, and it's been the best conference in college football. But you got a non-conference game at number 1 Clemson, and your crossover in the SEC this year happens to be Georgia, who's one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the country. So, yeah, it's a daunting schedule in front of the Aggies.
Braden Mann kicks off. It'll be a touchback. Matter of fact, A&M and South Carolina are the first schools to see the preseason AP 1, 2, and 3 teams on their schedule since Missouri in 1975. And they're the only one who's done that. Northwestern and Minnesota, 68 and 72 respectively, faced the preseason top 3 teams and did not record a win over any of them. So Missouri will still be the only team with a win in this instance to do that, but more chances for Texas A&M. Jimbo said yesterday to us, yes, I've told the team it's a tough schedule, but those are all great opportunities to do something special. Chase Bryson to take the last snap. So the string of victories by 20 or more is over, but the overall winning streak is not. They've won 17 in a row, have the Clemson Tigers matching their school record. They've won 20 straight regular season non-conference games, dating back to a loss at Georgia in the opener in 2014. Here's Holly Rowe.
That was taking a moment to speak with one of the Texas A&M players, so give us 1 second here. So, Coach, I know the game wasn't in question there at the end, but you really wanted to keep them out of the end zone. What did you think of that last defensive stand?
Well, we just took our eyes off number 3. Good call by them, and I love how our defense fought. You know, just it was fun, you know, getting the turnover on the goal line, and like I said, came up 1 play short right there from another goal line stand. But our defense set the tone. I thought Trevor Lawrence played quarterback today. I mean, he played quarterback and just led our team. We really left a little out there. We missed some opportunities for some more points, but really dominated the game. And from the second quarter on, so really proud of our team. It's a huge win for us. It's just the second win, but it's a heck of a football team we just beat. Great momentum for us.
Coach, you say he played quarterback today. What do you mean by that? What do you see from what he did?
Just gutsy, leader, savvy, you know, just made huge plays with his legs, with his arm, and, you know, got a little banged up, shook it off, kept going. So just really proud of Trevor.
Trevor's right here with us. Thank you, Coach. Trevor, I know you came into this game, and it took some time for your offense to kind of get rolling at the half. What did you change to kind of get some momentum there?
I mean, we knew our plan. We had a great plan coming into the game, and they just did some things. They made some plays. They're a great team, and we just kind of had to make some adjustments. But we just stuck to what we knew, and we executed it eventually. We knew it was going to work out. I
know for you, you said ball security was an important part for you today, to have ball security. Yeah. How disappointed were you in that interception? What went wrong? Yeah, I was upset because he was open. I just underthrew it, so I was kind of frustrated. But, I mean, we won. That's what matters most to me, and I feel like I played a good game, and sucks that was last play we ended on, but I'm happy with the win, always. Coach said you got banged up. You okay? Do what? You got banged up. Are you okay? All good. It's a little bruised up. I'll be fine. Thank you, Coach. Thank you.
All right, Lawrence threw for 268 and a touchdown. Clemson's 24-10 win over Texas A&M. For Holly Rowe, Todd Blackledge, our terrific crew, Sean McDonough saying so long from sweltering Death Valley. Now to the studio. Here's Kevin Nagandi.